The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The Jets conducted their annual green and white scrimmage yesterday, and I was there. I didn't melt. We'll give you some takeaways from the day at One Jets Drive, plus break down the latest with the team. The Bufffalo Jet fans going to join me, so Jet fans, let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season.
There goes my hero.
Oh,
As he goes.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, Jet fans. Please, please, please hit the subscribe button and click the thumbs up like button if you haven't done so already. Hope everyone is having a great weekend. We didn't do a show yesterday because I was out at Jets camp all day long, so this is the first time I've been back on the air with the opportunity to break down the key takeaways from the green and white scrimmage. And joining me right now to help me do just that and talk all things New York Jets is the great Bufffalo Jets fan. BJF, welcome back to the show.
thanks for having me, man. We got Aaron Rodgers singing some Foo Fighters there. That's the first time I've seen that snippet. Love it.
Let's go. Let's go. So a lot to get into with you. I was there yesterday, so I saw you did a video basically kind of taking all the reports from the beat writers and the content creators who were there. And I watched it on your channel. I'm like, man, I learned a lot, and I was there. So I'm basically going to combine what you reported on your show and what I saw yesterday for some takeaways. Then we'll get to the latest with Hassan Reddick and some of the other storylines involved with the team. My biggest takeaway, though, from the green and white scrimmage, it was pretty evenly matched. Like, the offense was making plays, the starting offense I'm talking about. They were moving the ball down the field. Two of their drives, they only had 4 total drives, including the 2-minute drive the field at the end. And in 2 of their drives, one of them got stalled out, the first one, because of a Joe Tippmann high snap when the Jets were on the goal line. So that ended that drive. It ended in a field goal. And the other drive got stalled out when Isaiah Davis, who actually had a good day and rebounded after this play, had a fumble. But as far as the offense moving the ball, Rodgers was surgical at times. He was adjusting plays at the line of scrimmage. He was doing a really good job feeding Garrett Wilson, feeding Breece Hall out of the backfield as his check down, feeding Allen Lazard, who I thought had a really good day yesterday. So, to me, not that we needed to confirm Aaron Rodgers is really good at football, but Aaron Rodgers is still really good at football. And this offense yesterday with no Morgan Moses and no Tyron Smith because they had veteran rest days, they were still able to go out there and function with Olu Fashanu and Max Mitchell being your starting tackles yesterday. So my biggest thing from watching the offense go up against a defense that didn't have Reddick and Sauce Gardner, who was still not practicing due to personal reasons, very evenly balanced back and forth between the starters.
Yeah, I think you definitely notice right away all throughout minicamp and training camp is that the offensive pass protection seems to be much better. Last offseason, it was right from the jump. They couldn't block their teammates on the defensive side of the ball. And Aaron Rodgers is pretty openly critical about it. He's like, we got to figure this out with the tackle situation. And, part of that is, okay, JFM and Huff are gone and Reddick isn't playing. But on the flip side, like you mentioned, Moses hasn't really been doing teams that much. And Tyron Smith is getting a veteran rest day every other day. So I think it speaks to Olu Fashanu. It would probably have been rookie Olu Fashanu would probably have been the best tackle on the Jets roster last year. I think that's probably fair to say. Probably better than, Billy Turner, Mekhi Becton, and the rest of it. And Max Mitchell, who at the end of his rookie year, I thought okay, maybe this guy could be like a low end starter to high end backup. And then he has the blood clots. And then last year he looked unplayable. They moved him to guard. So is Max Mitchell back to being like a rosterable high quality backup? Because if so, if you have a number 11 overall pick backing up your left side and somebody decent backing up your right side, and that doesn't even factor in Carter Warren, who's a second year fourth round pick who should have some expectations of. I think the tackle room and the tackle depth is, I don't think it's a coincidence that they made those changes, and now all of a sudden Aaron Rodgers has time to throw.
No question. So shout out to Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7. He was doing, God's work with this video yesterday. He filmed every play of the starting offense versus the starting defense and put it up on his YouTube channel. So I'm going to put it up on the screen here, and we can go through some of it together, right? I'm just going to start at the very beginning. First off, watching the kickoff in person was fascinating. Jets are giving a lot of different people opportunities back there, including Malachi Corley. So I think that's something to watch with Tariq Cohen no longer on the Jets due to his retirement. With the fact that Xavier Gibson is still not practicing yet, I think there is a real opportunity here for Malachi Corley to be one of the two returners back there. This was the first play from scrimmage. I highlight it because this is what we saw so many times throughout the day. Garrett Wilson quickly getting open, easy pitch and catch between these two. You saw this a lot throughout the day. Like, to me, if you're playing fantasy football and you could get Garrett Wilson, you have to do it because this guy has a legit chance to have like 110, 115 catches this year. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, definitely. And I think if you look at Aaron Rodgers in his most recent years where he played well, the 2 MVP years, and the target distribution that Devontae Adams got, I'm not saying Garrett Wilson is Devontae Adams, but I do think he is the type of number one receiver that will justify that ridiculous target share, whereas like Devontae, then a huge gap and everybody else. And I think that's what you're going to see with this Jets offense. They're going to run it through Garrett first and then Breece Hall second. And I think that Aaron Rodgers, like his quick release and how he likes to leverage alignment with Garrett's, it's like twitchy yak ability is really a perfect combination. Shame that, I remember even in the preseason game last year, the one drive that Rodgers played, it was like a quick out to Garrett on the first catch of the drive, and then the last play of the drive, they do a side adjustment and he hits him for a touchdown. And it's like we were robbed of a whole season of just those two stealing yards. So super pumped about it.
So this play here, I paused it. This was not the play with the high snap with Tippmann, but this did feature another high snap, as you see Aaron Rodgers had to use one hand to haul in this football here. Tippmann wasn't awful outside of the one brutal snap that went over Rodgers that killed this drive that we're watching right here. But this is something that's got to be corrected. Rodgers quickly gets out of it, checks it down. We saw a lot of checkdowns to Breece Hall yesterday, which we're going to see a lot of this year. Breece is probably going to have the second most catches on the team. Like, I think that's a legit possibility here. But what's great about Ryan's video on the screen, you can see all the checks that Rodgers made here to get out of stuff, like on this play here. And he did get the defense a couple times with a hard count to set up a free play. I could show that as we kind of go through this first drive. But right here, boom, ball's out, Garrett Wilson over the middle, first down. Like,
see, there's so many examples when you watch Aaron Rodgers. Like there would be times last year where the Jets quarterback play where they'd show a play and somebody like Dan Orlovsky would say, well, see, like nobody's open, no quarterback. But it's like, no, open with Aaron Rodgers is different, man. Look at that window. Look at that window. I mean,
look how
Tim
quick
Boyle's
he gets
not
it
hitting
out.
that throw, man. Tim Boyle's not doing that.
No.
Like, it's a different sport we're witnessing. Yeah, with the Tippmann stuff, I think we got joint practices coming up this week. I think at that point is when I would kind of start to panic a little bit because I know there was some issues with it last year during the regular season, but I don't remember it being like, oh my gosh, this guy can't snap like Spencer Long bad last year. But yeah, definitely, it's not nothing. It's something to keep an eye on. And personally, from the Jets, I see Connor McGovern on his Instagram page, like deadlifting and stuff. I'm like, I'd bring that guy in the building regardless because I would take him over, Jake Hansen or Xavier Newman. But the Tippmann thing, it's I don't know. What's your panic meter on that? I'm like at a 3 out of 10 right now. But if it keeps happening on Tuesday and Wednesday, I might be at a 5 or a 6.
Yeah, to me, I'd bring back McGovern regardless. But yeah. I'm definitely not panicking yet because I don't remember this being like that big of a problem. I thought Salah's answer actually was enlightening from the standpoint of, hey, we're asking him to do a lot of different things. It's a new offense for him with Rodgers back. It's a technique thing. We'll be able to figure it out. Like, all right, but that means they better get it figured out quickly. So
yeah, and he didn't do that. He didn't. They hardly snapped out of the gun at Wisconsin, so it's still kind of new for him. And Tippmann, to me, just as a blocker, as an offensive, like the absolute worst case scenario, if he, for some reason, if it's like Mike Piazza couldn't throw the ball to first base or whatever.
Yep.
Worst case scenario, the Jets have a really good guard in Tippmann. Like he's already proven to me, like just as a human being who blocks other human beings, he is a future building block of this offensive line. It's just a matter of getting that snapping squared away.
Completely agree. Now watch this play here on the Jets' first opening drive. And if you're tuning in live right now, make sure you click that like button. There's 250 of you and only 85 likes. The math is not mathing, so please like and subscribe if you haven't. This play right here shows me Aaron Rodgers is fully healthy if you had any doubt. So watch what happens here. First off, Rodgers changing a bunch of stuff at the line of scrimmage, surveying the defense. This was a popular theme. Jets using way more motion than we saw at any times last year. Really good pocket here, but no one's open yet. So what does Rodgers do? Dances around the pocket, buys a little time, and on the run is able to find a wide open Jeremy Ruckert, who is clearly my big takeaway on the tight end situation. He is clearly the established tight end 2 in this offense. We saw the Jets use a lot of 12 personnel, 1 running back, 2 tight ends. They used 22 personnel a couple times yesterday as well. But Ruckert is clearly the established number 2 tight end. So bang Mateo, shut it. It is Conklin, and then Ruckert. Kenny Yeboah, I would say, is a distant third. Ruckert also, maybe at some point I'll show it here. Here's Braylon Allen getting a carry. Ruckert had an opportunity, at least on one play I saw, to be the fullback in that Nick Baldwin role from last year. So they signed Ferkser and cut Baldwin, but Ruckert was the guy out of the backfield as the fullback on some plays.
What is Bang Mateo's take on the tight end situation?
That Jeremy Ruckert's already a bust, and they should have taken Bowers.
Okay.
By the way, this play right here was no look. The Jets themselves posted it, but here's the different angle from the crowd. This play was a no look to Brees, and once again, you're going to see a lot of Brees Hall getting checked down because Rodgers knows how good he is, and Brees just juked whoever that was out of his jockstrap. It was unreal.
Yeah, well, Brees actually led the NFL among running backs in catches last year. And that was when Nate Hackett said they didn't even figure out he could catch the ball until like Thanksgiving or whatever. So Aaron Rodgers already knows that. So we're going to be ahead. Yeah, I think Brees Hall will probably be the Jets' like second most targeted passing weapon. I don't, like, all due respect to Aaron Jones, I don't think Aaron Rodgers has played with a running back this dynamic before in his
career.
Watch
this play action, by the way. So good. But no one was open, so Rodgers tried to force it in there to Conklin, and C.J. Mosley made a great play on the ball. Here's the high snap, right? I don't know if you probably saw it online. Yeah. This was the play that killed the drive. So the Jets were moving the ball. This is the first drive of teams. High snap. And look, I don't love Rodgers running after it. I guess it's a lot, they're simulating a live thing, but the last thing I need is Rodgers getting hurt chasing a high snap. So that freaked me out. So now it's like 3rd and 30 here, and the Jets are just trying to get into field goal range. But watch who catches the ball on the screen. The Yak King, Corley, get him in space. They were trying to find ways yesterday.
That dude wanted no part of that tackle.
No, watch this again. Run it back here. All right, so that's Rodgers trying to get the snap. Next play. Well, here's the high snap again. Pains me to see this.
Oh, I hate it. I hate watching him run back like that.
I know. It's like, please, no. But here, we'll show the screen again. Like, once again, like Rodgers only had like 4 total drives, and one of them was the 2-minute at the end. So it's not like he had, like, they gave the threes way more 11-on-11 opportunities than I thought, but that's because they're trying to get him ready for the preseason game. So it makes sense.
Right. Yeah, I love to see that with Corley. Corley is going to be one that's definitely without the pads on. His skill set is not going to really be on display because he's not he didn't come out like Roman Wilson where he's like a shifty slot or polished route running player. He plays wide receiver like a running back. So that yak stuff is going to be where he makes a living. I'm excited to see him in the preseason. And I think as camp goes on, he will get more of the first team reps. And I think when we roll out against the 49ers, I do think he'll be one of the starting 3 receivers in 11 personnel.
Here's the next drive for the starting offense. First play, Rodgers trying to find Garrett right away.
Ooh.
Unable to connect here. Good coverage by Jarek Bernard-Converse yesterday. I thought he was impressive. Here we go again. Another play action. Does Rodgers have the ball? Does he? Oh, yeah, he does, baby. Quick check down to Brees. Let Brees make some guys miss. Now you have a 3rd and manageable here, and this is just Aaron Rodgers being Aaron Rodgers. Watch this. Boom. I mean, can you throw a better ball here? Seriously, can you throw a better ball to Garrett Wilson here? This is third and manageable. Rodgers is like, all right, I know what I need to do. I'm going to find Garrett Wilson off play action. Here we go. Oh, this is the check down to Brees. And then once again, watch the third down throw. Like, this is unguardable. And the ball's out within 2 seconds. So I don't care what your offensive line situation looks like. The ball's already out.
And technically, nobody's open.
Yep.
But he throws him open.
Here. Yep. Garrett, this is a great example of just like Rodgers throwing guys open. Boom. Ball's out. I mean, I can watch this over and over. Ball's out.
So effortless.
Like, the Jets have not had this.
No, we've never seen anything like this.
Boom. This is what you're talking about and we're talking about. Like, great quarterbacks throw guys open. The Jets could not complete a pass unless a guy was wide open last year.
Right. And you see how there was a guy, some pressure towards Aaron Rodgers before he hit that check down to Brees. I was told that's illegal. That's illegal if your quarterback is under any duress that they could hit a pass.
Also, pressure in his face, Rodgers, ball out. Boom. Once again, watch the play again. I mean, it was just ridiculous. So next play of the drive here. So this, once again, for those just tuning in, these are all from Ryan from Jets Talk, doing God's work with this. This is the Jets' second drive of teams yesterday. Here we go, a little run, try and get Brees involved. And they were rotating Brees a lot. I think if it was an actual game, Brees would have been on the field a lot more. Garrett's underneath here. Watch Garrett. They're out of the shotgun set. Corley's in the slot, and Lazard. The three biggest receivers yesterday was Wilson, Lazard, and Corley. Those were the starters. Here we go. Rodgers, ball's out. Boom. Easy pitch and catch. Allen Lazard. Lazard is competent with Rodgers. He is a playable wide receiver with Rodgers. I'll show you the highlights at the end. Lazard had a baller moment at the end of the game when him and Eccles were going at it. Rodgers, like, it was pretty unreal what he did with Lazard. I'll show you that play when we get to it here. Here we go. Next play. Play action. Rodgers fake. Easy. Pitch and catch. Lazard.
Play action got me. I thought he handed it off.
Yep. Once again, this drive ended up getting killed, not because of Rodgers or anything, but because of a bad turnover. This was a learning moment here for Isaiah Davis. Rodgers thought he was going to come back for the screen off the play action. He didn't. I'll show it again. Like, watch this. This was a designed screen off play action, and Rodgers, after this play, went up to 32, Isaiah Davis, and was coaching him up on where he needed to be on this rep. So, you see Rodgers' final line. I think Samini had it at 19 of like 30. There were 3 drops, 1 spiked ball at the end of the 2 minute to clock it, and like stuff like this. That's just like, all right, like you get on the same page in practice for a reason.
Right.
This might have been the fumble play here. I'm trying to remember. Let's see. Once again, a lot of motion here. You got Conklin coming across, 2 tight ends at the same time. Yep, Davis lost, and I think C.J. Mosley recovered the fumble. So this killed their second drive here, right? But they were moving the ball. So here we go. This was after halftime. So now we go to the quote-unquote second half of the scrimmage here. Here's Aaron Rodgers in the starting offense. But notice, Braylon Allen getting the start at running back next to Rodgers. Corley, a little pre-snap motion there. Braylon Allen, BJF, is going to have a much bigger role in this offense than I think a lot of people realize. That was my takeaway watching this.
Yeah, I think it seems like he'll probably be the clear cut. Like, it'll be Brees, then a big gap, then Braylon Allen, then a big gap, then the rest of the running backs is how it seems.
Good check down there. Well, by the way, look at the play action, man. It's just, it's sick. It's like a hidden ball trick, man. All right, keep going with the drive here. A lot of Garrett in the slot, too. Here we go.
Was that Rucker who came across there?
That was Rucker, yep.
Yeah.
Next play. There's 89's Rucker in motion there. False start. AVT yanked him out. I think he was on a reps count anyway. So then the Jets only had 2 more drives after this.
They've clearly been more strict about that this camp. Haven't you noticed?
Yes. So AVT commits this penalty, yanked out. So notice now, the Jets offensive line with Rodgers at quarterback against this defense is featuring no Tyron, no Morgan Moses, no AVT. Arguably your 3 best offensive linemen are no longer out there for the remainder of practice, and they were still cooking them at times.
And no Mike Williams, obviously, as well.
Correct. Lazard's at the bottom. Garrett's up top. Corley's in the slot here. I believe that's Braylon Allen out of the backfield. There we go. And you just like what's great about Ryan's video here is like he shows you how much like pre-snap stuff Rodgers is going over before he snaps it each time. Boom, ball's out. But here's what happened on this play. I rewatched this last night like 10 times to figure out what happened. Pressure up the middle here. Jermaine Johnson, I think Quinnen caused this. Watch it again. And like Rodgers, this is why, by the way, Rodgers is the best touchdown to interception ratio of all time. He will not throw a bad pass. He's like, all right, if I'm going to get it's actually Kinlaw, 54, who got up the middle here and put pressure on Rodgers in his face. It's Kinlaw and JJ on the outside. Basically, they put too much pressure on Rodgers. No one was there, so he's like, I'm just going to throw it away to a spot where the defense can't get it.
Yeah, I haven't seen a turnover-worthy throw from him yet in this.
And that's an example of why Rodgers takes care of the ball. He's like, all right, it's not there. Live to see another day. Now it's third down. Jets need to pick up about 10, if I remember correctly, to get a first down. You got Braylon Allen out there as the third down back here out of the gun. And watch what they do here. This is just high-level quarterbacking. Here we go. Here we go. No one's open. Oh, here's Braylon Allen out of the backfield once the defense went all the way back with the receivers running their routes downfield. First down, Jets. We keep going here. Next play of the drive.
Olu looking good on that pass block rep, too.
Quick screen
play.
Right there. Who's that, Brees? Yep, Brees out of the backfield here. Now
It's
second
crazy
down.
how much bigger Braylon Allen is than Brees.
Yeah, you can see right away. Also, this is why this is Aaron Rodgers in a nutshell right here. So I'm going to rewind this back. Count the amount of time, snap the ball out. Ready? 1, 2, ball's out. Like, how often did the Jets not do this last year? Where it's like first down, a quick, easy. You see every team do it, but the Jets. Tight end runs out. Is able to get about 5 yards. So now it's 2nd and 5, 2nd and manageable. And you're able to pick up a bunch of yards on first down. So now it's 2nd and manageable here. You can do play action here. You can run the ball. You can take a shot. They were never successful on first down. So they're always in 2nd and long. Here we go. Play action. This should have been a catch. Kenny Yeboah.
Oh.
So the protection was not great here. The defense was not fooled. But Rodgers, being a god, was able to still make an unbelievable throw on one leg off balance to Yeboah. This should have been a first down. So this is one of the drops yesterday we were talking about. Watch it again. Here we go. Play action. But 44, Jamian Sherwood, who I thought had a really good day yesterday, not fooled at all. And Yeboah's got to catch that. I mean, he's got to catch the ball.
Yeah, that was a great play by Rodgers.
So this is the last, here's the screen to Brees. Next play. There we go. There it is. Look at this. Sherwood doesn't fall for the fake. Right there on one leg. Aaron Rodgers. This guy looks healthy. Not off an Achilles. Right? Can you make a better throw?
No.
Oh my God. So here we go. Next play after that. It's now 4th down, and the crowd is saying, go for it, go for it. And I'm like, we better go for it. It's a scrimmage. So they go for it here. Out of the gun. What's the call for Nate Hackett, a.k.a. Aaron Rodgers? Well, Jet fans, we give it to our big bruiser, Braylon Allen, first down. Next play on the ensuing drive. Once again, this is the first drive of the quote-unquote second half. They only had 3 normal drives before the 2-minute. So it's not like they had like a full game's worth of plays. It's why I thought it was impressive yesterday, because it was just like a thing here or there that like prevented them from scoring a touchdown. They moved the ball all day. Here we go. Next play. Little toss to Braylon. Trying to mix in the run. Here's the first time that I could recall yesterday, BJF, with the starting offense. You could see who's lined up next to Rodgers on the right there. You recognize it?
Is that Ruckert?
That is Jeremy Ruckert. Yep. Here we go. They use Brees out of the backfield. And this is why I think Brees is going to be their second leading leader in catches. So here we go. Here's the play. You got Ruckert out of the backfield. No one's open. No one's open. Rodgers wanted to get Brees on a linebacker. Over the middle, Garrett Wilson. Completion. Just like created a matchup here. Watch that again. Here we go. Out of the backfield. Boom. There's Garrett. Easy pitch and catch. Next play here. This is, I think this was a drop by Brees, if my memory serves me right. Nope, just a handoff to Brees. So it's coming. This was the play I was thinking of. Right here. So watch. By the way, we got to highlight who 34 is. 5'8" wide receiver, UDFA. Kid getting a lot of burn. I don't know if you're familiar with him at all. I like don't even know how to like properly pronounce the guy's name. 34, Hamza Al Zayet. 5'8", 162-pound UDFA from Eastern Michigan. 34 on the right here. Got a lot of opportunities to play in the second half with Rodgers. Here's just a bad drop by Brees. You're not worried about it in an actual regular season. But Rodgers was going here the entire time, BJF. He saw him on the linebacker. Boom, ball's out. Brees has got to catch that. He knows. Bad drop. Not what you want. Ensuing play after that. Here we go. Watch this throw. In the pocket. Zips it in. Ball's out. Can you throw a better pass here? Surgical. Watch it again, Jet fans. Ball's out. Boom. Quick slant. Bad drop by Brees, and then we'll show you the ensuing play here. Watch the full thing. 34, man. Hams El Zayat.
I'm getting his jersey.
It really is amazing that he's playing, though. Like, he's ahead of Brownlee. He's ahead of some of the other guys. This was great. This was just Rodgers trying to, like, mess with the defense. Here's the play after the ensuing dart by Rodgers. Quick snap, try and catch the defense off sides, which they did do later in the day. Rodgers just throwing it up. He had a free play. This right here could have been a touchdown here. I believe this is when Rodgers looked at Lazard. I think this is third down now. He wanted Actually, this was second down. He wanted Braylon Allen to run to the corner route here. So this is an example of like a rookie trying to get on the same page with Rodgers. We'll watch it again.
Yeah, he wanted him to go out and up.
So right now, no one's open. But Rodgers, you notice, has time in the pocket. Pressure is coming. He steps away from it. That's Jalen Holmes with the pressure in Rodgers' face against Olu. Moving. Right there, he wants Braylon Allen to run out and up, and it would have been a touchdown. Right? Like he wanted him to cut up, and he would have caught that. So incomplete. Once again, though, this drive was a lot of Braylon Allen, like giving him an opportunity to be the guy with Rodgers here. Now watch this. This was classic. Actually, it was the play after. I'm pretty sure. So watch Lazard. This is just where like Rodgers is like, all right, we're in the red zone. I know. I trust number 10. I played with him for 5 years. I know what he's going to do here. This was third down. You got Garrett Wilson on the outside. And watch Lazard. Oh, you know what? I'm going to play behind. That was second down. This is actually third down now. That was just a quick check to Garrett Wilson to get him closer. Here's the play with Lazard where he's just like, I got to go to him. Just throw it up. And like normally this would be a touchdown. Watch it back here. But I think this was it was either Surratt or Sherwood with the coverage. I got to look again. One of them made a heck of a play. I think it was Sherwood. Yep. Jamie and Sherwood right there. But you see how he's just like, hey, one-on-one, I'm just throw it up to Lazard and hope he can go up and make a play.
All right.
And Jamie and Sherwood,
no, he broke it up.
Yeah, Jamie and Sherwood had a really nice day yesterday. That guy's a starter on some teams, I'm convinced. Watch it again. Like Lazard, until Mike Williams is back, Lazard's going to be heavily featured in this offense. It's just a fact. Like right here, he's just like, all right, I have Allen Lazard 1-on-1. Let me throw it up, give him a chance. Good play by Sherwood, incomplete. Here comes the field goal. Kick is good. And like, that's it. As far as like 3 drives with 11 on 11. Now we're in the 2-minute drill, right? So people think it's a scrimmage, like it's a full game. And it's like, how do they not score any touchdown? It's like they only had 3 drives in the normal 11 on 11, and they were clearly working different guys in. So now, 2-minute drill. This was where, like, I had a Woody Johnson in my pants watching Aaron Rodgers play football. You ready for this? Here we go. 1st and 10, 2-minute drill. Jets need a field goal to win. That was the scenario. They're not driving for a touchdown. They need 3 to win and beat the defense, and the defense does push-ups. First play, drop here, incomplete, whatever. Okay, 2nd and 10. Next play, out of the 2-minute here. Rodgers drops back. Oh, no, nobody's open. What are we going to do? Well, just give it a little time. Boom, bullet. 34.
Oh, my God.
34. Who is this guy? This 5'8" UDFA? Hams El Zayat?
Braxton Berrios just got some tattoos. Came back trying to play games with us.
Number 34 out of Eastern Michigan. Watch this again. Who is this guy, Jet fans? Drops back. Boom. Right through the teeth of the defense. Here we go. No huddle. We're in the 2-minute. Next play after. Once again, 34 getting an opportunity here. Not Jason Brownlee, not whatever receiver that you're high on. Braylon Allen's the back out of the backfield. Garrett in the slot. Borley's out there. Run here to Braylon.
So he's probably filling in for what Gibson will be doing.
I guess so,
34.
Right? Here we go. Rodgers quickly. We got to go. And also, there's 3 backups on the starting O-line right now, right? AVT's day was done after the penalty, and he was on a reps count. No Tyron Smith due to a rest day. No Morgan Moses due to a rest day. So you got 3 of your 5 O-linemen out. No Mike Williams. No Xavier Gibson. And Rodgers is still doing this. Here we go. Boom.
Who's that, Conk?
Tyler Conklin over the middle. 3rd down now. They say incomplete. So this was the most badass moment of the day. These 2 plays I'm going to show you. So this is now 3rd down. Every Jet fan needs to watch up top. Watch Lazard. This was Aaron Rodgers going to bat for his guy to build his confidence. This was the most badass moment of practice right here. Lazard against Brandon Eccles. Incomplete. They call pass interference on Eccles. Watch what happens after the play. Lazard's asking for the flag. Eccles is chapped. I don't know what was said. I'm too far away, obviously. But they get into it here. Watch. Boom. Punches being thrown, which is the dumbest thing you could do when you're wearing a helmet, by the way. But watch this again. These back-to-back plays sum up why Allen Lazard, I thought, had an awesome day. So Rodgers goes to him with the game on the line. It's 3rd down and long in the 2-minute drill, and they need a field goal. They're not in field goal range. So with the game on the line, Rodgers is trusting Allen Lazard. And Eccles throws a punch. Stupid. Rodgers, you can see, runs over. All right, let's stop it. Let's not fight. Jets are playing the Jets. They give the Jets a 1st down because they call PI. There's about 12 seconds left here. So the Jets basically need another completion to 100% get in field goal range. They probably could hit from here, right? Because we know their line's really good. But there's about 12, let's say 15 seconds left here. This is the next play after the PI. And the Jets, a.k.a. Rodgers, essentially run the exact same play again. Rodgers sees how pissed off and heated Lazard was, and I just thought this was such badass. And the Jets themselves posted this yesterday. Watch this. Same exact play pretty much. Rodgers, without thinking, ball's already out. He's going right back to Lazard against Eccles. Right back to him. You can't throw a better ball, and Lazard, to his credit, makes the catch. Watch it again. Total badassery here. Like the context behind this play was awesome because they're trying to build up Lazard's confidence. He goes right back to him. Lazard makes the catch. Actually knew the situation here, right? You see him running now to the ref. Hand the ball. It's about 7 seconds here. You got to clock it. Rodgers spikes it, 2 seconds left. Here comes Greg Zuerlein for the game-winning kick. You can't execute the 2-minute offense better. Lazard with the back-to-back from drawing the PI, getting into it with Eccles, and then Rodgers going right back to him was awesome. And that's how the scrimmage concluded with the 11-on-11s. 2-minute throw, 2-minute drill there. It was awesome.
And I think I only saw the play where Kinlaw was up in his face. That was the only one that like skipped. Everything else was like either a pass broken up by a receiver or a drop or a penalty in terms of Rodgers' throws. That was the only one that just skipped the turf. Everything else was like catchable footballs.
Yeah, there was really no bad throws, right? Like the one play with Kinlaw on his face was basically a throwaway. You had 3 drops. You had the clocked ball at the end. Like Rodgers was surgical with 3/5 of the offensive line being backups yesterday. So I'm very confident this guy is still going to be one of the 10 best quarterbacks in the league this year. I just am.
Yeah, and I think if he is, the Jets are going to win the division. I do think the gap, the talent gap between them and Buffalo this offseason, I think has widened. You know, the Jets had, I think, 6 of the top 100 players on that list, and the Bills had, I think, 1 or 2. So if the quarterback play, like if both the Bills and the Jets are getting top 10 quarterback play, I think that the Jets will be a better overall football team.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. There's 425 of you watching right now, only 152 likes. Give me those milk thumbs, as Green Bean would say. Hit that thumbs up button. If you have any comments or questions for the Bufffalo Jet Fan or myself to respond to, please let us know. We're always looking for more channel members as well. So I want to give a big shout out to Legacy Green, who became an official as Maniac before the show even started. Yeah. Comments, questions, super chats, write them in. We continue with some of your calls coming up. And, of course, we'll talk all things Jets. But first, let's talk about Circa Resort and Casino.
We don't need gimmicks like giant checks and mascots to promote this year's football contest because we're giving away even more money than we did last year.
$16 million in guaranteed prizes, to be exact. There's 2 ways to win and no rake.
Players in Circa Millions make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries select 1 team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all. Visit circasports.com for details.
It's very simple, folks. $16 million in guaranteed prizes. $6 million in their picks contest, the Circa Million. $10 million in the Circa Survivor. The Asmaniacs will have an entry in the Circa Survivor. If you want to play in the 2 best pro football contests anywhere in the world, it's circasports.com for all the information. Shout out to Circa for being a part of our show. We bring back on the Bufffalo Jet Fan right now. Comments, questions, your super chats, cut the line. Ladies and gentlemen, proud NY Jet Fan says, pleasure hanging with you yesterday, my man. Yeah. It was awesome to hang out with Nick Shine and watch Nick Shine bully young kids in the autograph line to guarantee himself a Breece Hall signed autograph. It was impressive.
What's up, Nick?
You know, to be fair to Nick, he was trying to get it for his son because his son, Nick Jr., was a little soft. All right. He needed to body some kids. He's 15 going up against the 8-year-olds. All right. Mm-hmm. The younger Shine should have had no problem securing the Breece autograph, but it took the older Nick Shine getting in the mix to get it done.
Yeah. I mean, Nick Jr. is like Jeremy Ruckert size, though.
He's a big dude. he doesn't play to his size, though.
No.
Mr. Bonesy writes in, shout out to Tom for saving front row and Nick Shine for the VIP treatment. Had a security guard in his pocket, snuck my fam in. Jake, thanks for Mr. Bonesy chance. So to recap yesterday, Tom Ace, the gentleman that he is, saved the entire row on the 50-yard line. Now, it wasn't as hard as normal because the 50-yard line in the front row was covered in the sun, so we were getting cooked. But eventually the sun was actually behind us with the clouds, and we were all right. So big shout out to the great Tom Ace. And you're welcome for the Mr. Bonesy chance. Mr. Bonesy, he was there with his family. Here was the problem, though. Mr. Bonesy has young kids. They weren't doing too well with the heat. So it was a short-lived trip for the Bonesies yesterday in Florham Park. It wasn't easy. I did yell out there, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bonesy, and the crowd went nuts thinking that meant something, which was pretty funny.
The power of suggestion.
Also, shout out to all the Asmaniacs I met yesterday. It was it was a great day. It really was.
Damn, man, your merch is going viral there.
That's crazy. Crazy, man. Rye the General with a super chat. Clemens looked like a liability against twos at tackle. He was good against the run yesterday. I didn't notice watching back all the reps that we just showed you with the starters. I didn't notice Clemens have one good pressure. I didn't notice it.
Yeah, and it seems like from the reports that were early on in camp, it was like Max Mitchell wins his rep against Michael Clemens. I'm like, oh, good for Max Mitchell. And it was like Carter Warren wins his rep against Michael Clemens. I'm like, oh, nice for Carter. And then eventually I was like, wait a minute, maybe this is a Michael Clemens issue. Yeah, he's their big end, good against the run, but I think JFM was really good against the run, but also was a very above average pass rusher. So I think that assuming that's a 1-for-1 swap is probably not going to be the case. And obviously the starting base defensive end across from JJ is holding out right now. So I'm not sure what Clemens' role will be once Reddick is here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Kent, who has it, he has an emoji right now for the time being. Rick Kent didn't want an emoji, but I said, you know what, Rick Kent, you may not want it, but guess what? You've earned it. So right now, the Rick Kent emoji is live. And ladies and gentlemen, Rick Kent with a 5 spot for the people. Here we go. Frank Charles, Alexander Hill, Imanin, Keith the Change, and Ryan all receiving channel memberships. Hit the Rick Kent emoji. Even though he doesn't like it, he still deserves it. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Rick Kent. Comments, questions, super chats, keep sending those in. We're talking with the Bufffalo Jet Fan, recapping yesterday's practice. The great Tom Ace writes in, Tyrod looked good too yesterday. Beautiful balls, parentheses. That's what she said. Tyrod was very good yesterday. He threw the 1 touchdown to Brownlee, who's starting to come along here these last couple of practices, making some plays. I am so confident in Tyrod as a backup. He made throws yesterday that in Zach Wilson's dreams he never could do. So if, God forbid, Rodgers does suffer some sort of injury, you could go 2-1 with Tyrod Taylor over a 3-game stretch.
Oh, yeah, Tyrod's a pro. I mean, again, if Tyrod Taylor played his entire career with the Jets and did the exact same things he did throughout his career, he'd be in the discussion as the second best quarterback in our franchise's history. I mean, that says more about us than him, but he's a pro. He's a competent professional quarterback. Even if you look at last year, the Giants were arguably as big of a mess as the Jets offensively. And you look at when they went from Daniel Jones and Tommy Cutlets to Tyrod Taylor, he was significantly better and was able to make that. And they still didn't win a lot of games because they were so bad, but he was able to make that offense look functional. Taylor, we're in good hands if Rodgers goes. The only problem is he kind of gets hurt a lot too.
Yep.
But he's probably still one of the top 3 or 4 backups in the league.
The big fella says Rick Kent deserves the emoji. He's a legend. Rick Kent is a legend. I agree. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of legends, Jorge Perez. He's watching live. He's on the West Coast in Seattle, but I guess on the weekends, Jorge, up early. How about a 5 spot for the people?
Money, 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 money.
Here we go. Steven Rodina, Alex Levine, Brooklyn Jets, Troy Hansen, James Futusell. You are all channel members. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Keep making it rain. Channel memberships. Bufffalo Jet Fan and I, we got to eat. We got to feed our families, and the memberships make it all possible. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lane train's in the house. How do you like the Jet uniforms? Lane, I love them. All right. I want to make sweet love to them boy green style.
Yeah, they're beautiful. They're a thing of beauty. I'm glad they made that change. So Woody Johnson threw us a bone.
So the Jets in their pro shop at training camp, they have the mannequins of the 4 jerseys they're gonna wear this year. It's awesome, man. I mean, and the throwback being the Chad Pennington era jerseys, Mark Sanchez era jerseys is still wild to me. But just seeing that again, that was awesome.
Yeah, it makes you feel old, right? How long ago our last heyday was. But we're in a new one now.
That we are. Duncan with a question. Lots of pre-snap motion, Rodgers cadence trying to draw the offsides, etc. Could all that be impacting Tippmann? Yeah, I think there's a lot on Tippmann's plate right now. I'm not going to be worried this early. That said, if he can't rectify this, and we're still hearing about this a week from now, I'm going to be a little annoyed. And I'm a Tippmann guy. I think he could play. I'm not concerned yet. That said, even before Tippmann had some issues snapping these, so far this summer. I was pro bring back McGovern because why not? Like I'll take him over. Isaiah Newman, who right now I guess would be the guy on the roster that McGovern would be replacing.
Yeah, Xavier Newman, Jake Hansen, the kid from the UFL. Like Joe Douglas has said they want to keep 10 offensive linemen, and that Connor McGovern would definitely be better than whoever that 10th guy is going to be. I know there's a Ben Jones from Tennessee who I think is quasi-retired maybe, but I know he played under Keith Carter. I know he can, he's again probably better than some of those guys. Yeah, with Timmon, there's a lot going on with playing with Rodgers, and the thing is, Tittman wasn't getting first team reps at center last camp. So this is really his first time continually snapping to Rodgers. So I don't know if that impacts it. But yeah, I mean, you can't this can't happen all August and then you go and fly to San Francisco hoping it's just going to go away. So obviously there has to be a line in the sand of when to panic. Again, I think if these joint practices coming up, if it's still happening, then I think we'll have to kind of admit it's a thing.
I agree. I definitely agree. By the way, I want to give a shout out, speaking of Joe Tippmann, to the Asmaniacs I met yesterday who were wearing shirts saying, "Show us your conch," with a picture of Tyler Conklin. And on the back of the shirt, it says, "Or just your Tippmann." I appreciate that. Just want you to know.
Clever.
That's well done. Rat Diddy with a super chat for the people. Amazing coverage by Jake and the Asmaniacs. Us out-of-staters appreciate it so much. Rat Diddy, we appreciate you. That we do. Tom Ace says, I wanted to buy the mannequin with the uniforms on it. It looks so nice. Also, shout out to Tom Ace. He sent me, he's like, I got some stuff I want to give you after practice. So we show up to his car after practice, and he's giving me like a Yankee polo, an NBA Finals polo shirt, and this awesome shirt that I'm wearing right now. Tom Ace, what a guy. He's actually real, folks. He's not just a troll in the comments. You love it. Andrew writes in, question, who impressed you guys the most at practice yesterday? Look, I could give you like some of the obvious ones that everyone has said, but I need to know who Hams El Zayat is. Number 34 that's getting experience in the second half with the ones. And in the 2-minute is making the play of the drive to set up the eventual game-winning field goal by the starting offense. I mean, once again, this was yesterday. This guy, I have no idea who he is. I didn't have any knowledge of the guy before this, but let's find the play. This was the play of the 2-minute drive. Here it is. Who is this guy? Boom. Who is 34?
Yeah,
5'8" receiver.
Yeah, we'll have to dig into Hamza El Zayat. Yeah, well, I also think that Jared Bernard-Converse and Zaire Barnes, 2 6-round picks from last year, I've started to see their names pop quite a bit, where JBC he didn't have a camp at all last year because of the injury, and then he was activated late last year, and Barnes as well. So I think they'll both definitely make the team, and I think JBC is going to be in the mix with guys like Eccles if they bring him back, or Stiggers to most likely be the DJ Reed replacement next year. And I think the Jets have 2 good pipeline linebackers in, I'm not saying Sherwood is Mosley and Barnes is Quincy, but kind of the same mold. Sherwood is a little bit, it's not a great athlete, but very heady and a very sure tackler. And you have Barnes, who's just super speedy and athletic. So kind of in the mold of Mosley and Quincy. So I think the Jets have a pretty good pipeline and some encouraging spots on the defense, even maybe Will McDonald taking over for Reddick a year from now. So you like to see it.
Another good player that I thought played well yesterday, Tony Adams. I think there's another level to his game. I thought he was very good yesterday. Yeah,
and I think with Quincy, I'm not saying Tony's going to become a first-team All-Pro, but Quincy was super fast, super athletic, but maybe not in the right place at the wrong time, maybe a little bit raw, and that's how kind of Tony Adams played last year. So if he can refine himself a little bit, he is athletically a freak at the safety position in Tony Adams. So he's definitely a guy who could make a big second-year leap.
Purple Belt Mike says 34 is Knoble. It's actually believable. Same height as Knoble, 5'8", 197. I don't know about that, but The great Knoble. The Lane train's in the house. Lane, if you want to call in, we'll move you right to the front of the line. But let's open up the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline right now.
If you go to gusbuster.com, you could purchase the best umbrella in the universe. And you could use the promo code Jake to get 15% off on any of your umbrellas.
First up on the Gusbuster Hotline today is a guy who I sat with at the scrimmage yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, Alan is up next, and not the Alan we don't like, an Alan we do like. Hello, Alan.
Hey, Jake. Hey, Bufffalo Jets Fan. It was awesome being there yesterday, even though it was like an oven. It took me like 4 hours to drive home to Delaware after because I was like still recovering from the heat exhaustion. But the scrimmage was awesome to watch, and I saw a lot of the same stuff you did. You know, we were talking about Hamza El Zayed a little bit, and you know that Sherwood stood out, and one of the things that I really noticed that I hadn't known was how shifty Braylon Allen is.
He was very impressive at his size to be that elusive. You could see why the Jets really like him. And he got a lot of playing time yesterday.
He did. And with the first team, yeah. And obviously, you know, I'm a big Malachi Corley homer, so I was happy to see him get the one catch. And all the work on specials was good too, because when they were putting two guys out on the kick returns.
Yeah, it seemed clean. I don't think Greg Z missed a kick either.
No, he was excellent. And Thomas Morstead had some good punts too. They didn't do actual punt returns, and good call by Allen there. I'm glad he made it back home after that drive. Yikes, 4 hours. I want to also shout out to Richie and his dad for dropping me off in the city yesterday on the way back to Long Island. I don't know how people from Long Island do that trip, man. It is so brutal to get out to Florham Park. It shouldn't be that long, but just with the traffic, it is. It's horrible. I want to give some shout outs here to one listener in particular that I was hanging out with in person yesterday, and this was a surprise to me. All right, I wasn't expecting this, but ladies and gentlemen, Chef Kevin and his family rocking the Asmaniac merch yesterday, rocking the bucket hat, rocking the camo hat. Shout out to Chef Kevin. Boom, love to see it. Also, I see that she's in the chat right now. Shout out to Carly for rocking the Asmaniac merch as well. So there you go. All right, some love for people rocking the merch yesterday. JakeAsman.com. Get yourself some swag. We got to send some gear to the Bufffalo Jet Fan. You got to pick a hat, PJF. We're sending you something.
Let's do it.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Lane Train wants to know, how do you feel about Woody Johnson and Gert Wilson and Robert Sale for the Jets and R? BJF, your thoughts?
Gert Wilson sounds like a really good country singer. I feel good, man. I feel like we are an 11 to 12 win football team. Should be good enough to win the division, have a home playoff game, and then just enjoy the ride from there.
Nick T's in the chat. He says, great stuff as usual, guys. Nick T, I want you to know, I'm sure you know the story, but I met Nick T's best man at his wedding, like his best friend. He came up and introduced himself. He's like, I was Nick T's best man. And I saw him like 3 other times after that. So I was just like, that's Nick T's best man. Every time I saw him walking around the practice. Oh, it was great. Let's see. Oh, Chef Kevin's in here too. Chef Kevin, you're the man. Great to meet you and your family, your wife, your son. That was awesome. See you guys this week. If you're in Jersey and you have an RSVP to our training camp hangout at Don Jose Mexican Restaurant next Wednesday night, last chance to do it. Just a few spots are left. So click that RSVP if you're in. Let's get to some more of your calls here before we wrap with BJF. Terrence is on the line. What's up, Terrence?
Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, Bufffalo Jets Fan? Nice to meet you over there.
What's going on, man?
All right. Hey, I was on Boy Green's podcast this morning. We was talking about Tippmann. You guys are talking about Tippmann. I think Tippmann's going to be fine.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas.
Yeah. Jet fans, don't lose your gosh darn bananas. I think Tippmann, think about this. Close your eyes and think about you being the center on the Jets, and you look ahead and you got Quinnen Williams coming after you. Then you look at the ball, and then you look behind you and you got Aaron Rodgers with his hands out. That's a little nerve-wracking. You know, he's getting a little anxious there. Give him some time through the first couple of practices and the first couple of weeks in preseason, and I think he'll be just fine. But it's the butterflies, like me. I got butterflies, and I'm stuttering over here. so you know, it's all good, man. Jet fans, calm down. Let Tippmann practice. Let him do his thing. And I mean, I think what's the guy you wanted? The center, the backup you want coming in?
Connor McGovern.
McGovern, yeah, I think McGovern he's on the team. He's just not on the salary part. I think he's over there somewhere practicing and ready to go. I think they got him ready to go. But if you bring him on the team, it's just going to make Tippmann more anxious. You know what I'm saying? So let him practice. Let him do his thing. He's got great guys helping him out, you know? And if we're talking about these little things, then we must have a great team because we've never talked about these little petty things that are happening. We always talking about big things like who's going to be our offensive line, who's going to be our number 2 receiver. But these little things like a snap, man, this is great. I love it. And y'all just talking about Chad Pennington. I just want to show y'all my Superman suit. This is my Chad Pennington jersey, the old school.
There it is.
Love it.
It's back. The Jets will wear it against the Bills on Monday night. I can't wait.
This is my Superman suit, man. Every game I wear this. Me and this jersey, man, we've been through so much, man. Yeah, but I appreciate you guys. JETS, Jets, baby. Let's go.
Terrence, I love the passion. BJF, I'm actually shocked what I'm about to have to do right now. All right. This is this would if you would have given me, you know, a million guesses to pick which listener I would have to actually play the not just like the partial drop, but the full on calm your freaky down drop, it never would have been the Lane Train. But Lane Kerner wrote, Carly Fleischer has a nice bikini and tan skin. Ladies and gentlemen, Lane Train.
I like good-looking chicks in that family. Wow.
Bobby.
Oh, yeah, baby. Things are about to get crazy here on the Jake Asman Show.
Calm your freaky down.
Sometimes we try, but that freaky just take us over.
Give him some of your loving voice.
Oh, yeah, hide them kids.
Again, leave your damn freaky down.
Too sexy.
you gotta chill, man.
The kids. My first time
Wait.
saying that.
Man.
Yeah. Let's leave people's skin out of it if we can.
Mr. Bonesy says, LOL, Jake always with the call-outs. As I'm driving away on the golf cart with my family, there appears Jake as with a scream. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mr. Bonesy fam. It did happen. But so Bonesy left like, I want to say like 20 minutes into practice, maybe like 30 minutes because it was just too hot for the young kids. So then like I went to go get like a Gatorade. And as I'm walking down like the stands, I see on the golf cart the entire Bonesy family. And I was just like, ladies and gentlemen, the Mr. Bonesy family. Oh, it was great. It was tremendous. Joining us right now is someone who I spent most of the day with yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a proud Jets fan. His name is Nick, and he body bagged some 8-year-olds to get Breece Hall to sign his helmet. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Nick Shine. Hello, Nick.
Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do. But I didn't even body bag. I went over, and Breece was there on the ramp. You know, my son was very soft at the moment. You were right with that. Fair assessment, right? He's got to work on his technique. I was telling him he had a football, Buffalo. And I was like, when the player's in front of you, just drop the ball. They'll have to pick it up. No. He was scared. He's new to the game. I'll work on that. My apologies for everyone who had to witness him failing yesterday. But eventually he got Breece, and he almost got Garrett on the way out, but the PR people were pulling Garrett away. He was one person away, and the PR people pulled Garrett. He would have had Breece and Garrett on the same football. But shout out to you, Jake, because I got there, and the line was so long, and I called Jake. I'm like, where are you? He's like, I'm online. I'm like, all right, where are you at? He's like, oh, I see you. He's like, turn. Got right in line with you, Chef Kevin. And we got right in. We were on like the first or second bus over. Great day. Shout out to Carly. Carly might be my new spirit animal. Me and her talking, like we were having a fun time.
Don't inflate her ego even more. Oh God.
We were having a great time. She was fantastic. And shout out to you, man. You love doing announcements. You are never not radio host. Like someone just walked by and I come back from getting a Gatorade. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Shine. You're always in host mode, man. That was awesome.
Well, you know what's funny? Every time you yell something, there's just people that are like, all right, we'll cheer.
Yeah,
It's like,
we're clapping. My life is complete. You know, if you don't mind, I'll tell the story. I made Aaron Rodgers laugh yesterday. Like my life is absolutely complete. So Buffalo, they break up to do the scrimmage and the offense comes right to our side. Rodgers, everyone's 15, 20 feet in front of us and the crowd's going nuts because he's walking over this way and he's standing there with the quarterbacks and he's standing there talking to Jordan Travis. And as soon as the crowd dies down, I scream, Jordan, we're cheering for you, not for Aaron. And Jordan Travis just lost it. Rodgers shakes his head and walks away. But Travis was laughing for a good 10, 15 seconds after the fact. So I made Aaron Rodgers laugh. Bucket list. Boom. Check. No offense to you, Jake, but that moved up to the highlight of the day.
Hey, no offense taken. It was a tremendous day, and I'm glad to experience it with you, Nick. It was an honor to melt there at One Jets Drive with you.
It was absolutely a great day. Shout out to Tom for reserving the row. Alan hanging out with us. Bonesy, whose sweat might still be on me for how hot it was sitting next to him for a while. His kids created a water shortage with how much they were dumping on themselves. But it was quite the entertaining day, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. It was awesome. It was great being with everybody.
Nick, you're the man. Great job out of you.
You good, man. Talk to you guys soon.
Nick Shine checking in, fresh off body bagging some 8-year-olds. I mean, he did what needed to be done. I don't know how to respond to this comment here. The Lane Train just wrote in, I have a nice girlfriend, Emily, and she is Jewish. Bufffalo Jets Fan, you're usually one for words. Your thoughts on this?
I don't know, does Ryan from Jets Talk have any footage of Emily? Can we break it down?
Congrats, Lane. Honestly, Lane, here's the only thing I can think to do in a situation like this. I don't have the words for it, but our quarterback does.
Hey, congrats on the sex.
Lane, I'm happy for you and your family. Rick Kent, 5-spot, channel memberships. Oh, baby, let's go, Rick Kent. Here we go. 5 memberships. Allison Tuckwab, Des Jets 11, Justin My Bag, Milk Money, Thea Muller, all channel members. Also want to get to the super chat here before we get right back to your calls from Allison, who says, what did Aaron say? If the Jets get fired, they're all getting fired. Is he even part of this team, or are the rumors of Ken get their facts? I don't know about the last part, Allison, but the first part, Rodgers basically said if we don't win this year, we're probably all getting fired, and I like that pressure. He's basically acknowledging that they're all in to win this year, and they can't have another 7-10 season and expect to run it back next year. That was the premise of what Rodgers was saying a couple months ago.
Yeah, I think it's him taking ownership that Rodgers, Saleh, and Joe Douglas are most likely tied together to some extent. I think they're all going to fail or succeed together.
Also, I got to be fair in this show. I can't play favorites. So Lane Train's last comment about him making sweet love to, his girlfriend, Emily. What's fair is fair. This still has to absolutely, unequivocally be played.
Calm your freaky down.
All right. More of your calls right now. Joining us on the Gusbuster hotline is one of the all-time greats. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Neil. Neil, good morning. Good afternoon. Hello.
What's up, Jake? BJF, how you doing?
What's going on, man?
Everything is falling into place. All our practices, the back and forth, the nice plays, the seeing Aaron Rodgers, the porn in the chat also was getting a little crazy too. But, there's porn all over the place. But as I've been saying right along, this is going to be our ride of rides all the way to 20-0 and a perfect season. That's my prediction. As I said, I'll keep it on until we have our first loss, which I don't expect. So I love what I see every single day. Love what you guys are doing and what you're providing. and it's going to be a great season. And I'm sorry I can't be out at camp. I'd love to be out there with you guys. Sounds like you're
What are
having
you
a
doing
ball.
Wednesday, Neil? Wednesday or Thursday? I got tickets for you. You tell me what day. You're
What,
taking the
for
day off from work. You're coming out to camp.
What camp? Wednesday camp and Thursday camp you're going to be at, Jake?
They have back-to-back days this week. Wednesday's a normal practice. Thursday's a joint practice against the commies. So if you want to go to either one, Neil.
I want to do a joint with the commies. Maybe I'll come out Thursday.
All right. So to be clear, we're not talking about marijuana, though. We're talking about the Jets versus the.
We're also not
Commanders on a
talking
football
about
field.
communists.
Yes.
But
if we were,
Kamala Harris is going to be at the thing. I'm sure.
Stop
I'm
it.
only kidding. Anyway, all right. So we'll figure this out. All right, offline we'll figure out. I don't know if I can get out, but I just got back from a wedding. I'm blown away. But practices with the Washington would be a nice way to get there. And I don't want to melt like you guys. I walked around Philadelphia in a wedding. Let me tell you something. You think it was hot at Florham Park? Try walking around Philadelphia in the city, 95 degrees. It was unbelievably hot. But it is what it is, and we're ready for the season. And I'm getting my voice nice and tuned up. I had a JES, Jets chant at my nephew's wedding, right in front of a bunch of Eagle fans, and it was wonderful. And we're going to do it. Let's go, guys. Out.
Neil, you said you were blowing up?
These goddamn exploding cigars. I gotta go, Jake. I'll call back later. Shit.
What a call from Neil. Neil, if you want to go, you message me. I got you tickets for Thursday. We got the hookup for Neil. All right. I'll be at both practices this week, Jet fans. I'll be doing content with Richie this week. We got our meetup Wednesday night, so I'll be there Wednesday and Thursday. Dana with a super chat. I will sell my PlayStation for a home playoff ticket.
I support this decision.
Yeah, I agree. You know, it's a smart move. Bet the Jets to win the division, take your winnings, and use that to buy your home playoff ticket for the game.
Free money.
I mean, they're winning the division, man. You know, it's funny. Yesterday, as I was sweating, I started to realize, man, it's all going to be worth it when the Jets are 12-5 and AFC East champions this year.
Yeah, they're. In a way, I feel like the devastation of last year just made me like not even nervous, like just excited, and whatever happens, because we saw the worst case scenario, or whatever, so there's no reason to have any fear anymore.
It's a good take. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is someone who we referenced earlier in the show. I met the best man at his wedding. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Nick T. Hello, Nick.
What's up, Jake? As usual, I have to fact check you. So he wasn't the best man at my wedding. He's one of my best friends.
So, he said he was your best man.
Oh, he's my best friend. So I was his best man.
Oh, okay. I got it wrong. Like so you were his best man. That's what it was. I thought he was your best man. It's simple correction. Not that big of a deal.
Colin cowering me. No, I got to thank you. You know, the first thing he did, he called me up. He goes, what an awesome guy. He said, I had a blast meeting him. His son absolutely adored you guys and Carly. I know he had a blast with all of that. So obviously a great moment for him and his son at training camp and getting to meet you guys. So, thanks for that on that front. I think his son actually was one of the 5-year-olds that Nick Shine barreled over.
It probably was true. Also, Carly did write drama. You were his best man, but he wasn't yours, ?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Oh, Carly, yeah, was a pot stirring. No, he's one of my best friends. He's one of my closest friends. We only had family in our wedding.
Ah, all right.
But he's like a brother to me, so I appreciate that. No, but Carly, where's the shoes, Carly? The kid wanted the shoes. He wants some kicks by Carly, so throw it right back at her. Where's the endorsement?
That's a good point.
Do they come in kid sizes? I don't know yet.
I don't know. I think they do. You got to ask her. Go to her website.
But anyway, so I want to ask you guys. So the tight end position, Yeboah's the 3, not Ferkser, because is that the same guy from the Rams?
He's with the Titans. Ferkser is the 3rd or 4th tight end, I would say.
But I remember him didn't he start a decent amount for Tennessee though, like a good amount of games?
Yeah, he played a bit. He's got like a season with like 500 or 600 yards.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that, like, again, like as a third tight end depth position, it might be interesting to keep him over Yeboah. I think he's got more experience, right? Like he's proven himself a little bit more. It'd be curious to see, although I guess it might depend on who's the best blocking tight end at that point.
Yeah, I think Ferkser could easily make it over Yeboah, because I also think that it's not a coincidence that Bawden was cut the same day they brought in Ferkser. He was actually listed as a fullback when he was at the Titans, although he played most of his snaps at tight end. So I think they do have, he could be like the fullback 1/tight end 3, and he's also played special teams. So I don't think the Jets are going to keep 4 tight ends. So I do think it'll be Ferkser and Yeboah for tight end 3, because I think Kuntz is a little far away still as well.
Yeah. I'm interested to see if Kuntz actually develops into something, because he's, again, his athletic ability is there, and Rodgers usually likes those types of tight ends. So, but we haven't really seen much of him yet or heard much of him. So we'll see. But anyway, guys, appreciate it. Catch you guys later.
An honor to meet your best friend. An honor.
Well, I'll see you soon, Jake.
Nick T, I can't wait. I think
you have to introduce him as this guy was Nick T's he's Nick T's best friend, but was not his best man. You have to be very specific. But I gotta run. I gotta run, brother.
BJF, you're the man. Where can people find you?
YouTube, Twitter, the Bufffalo Jet Fan. Appreciate you guys. The Jets are gonna be good this year. Let's enjoy it.
Do you smell 12-5 and AFC East champions?
Oh yeah.
All right. I just wanted to make sure. BJF, thank you very much.
Take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Bufffalo Jet Fan. I will stay on, get to more of your comments, more of your questions, your super chats, the whole thing. How about this one from Kevin? He says, what's up with Mike Williams? Mike Williams still not practicing yet. He was a sponge around Rodgers and Tyrod yesterday, watching him up close. I'm excited to see him back with this team. He will get a lot of opportunities as soon as he's healthy. I'd imagine he will start practicing within a couple weeks. NY Flights Talk checks in. Jake, BJF, do you think Irv makes the roster? I think he will. And will the Jets carry 7 wide receivers to start the year, as that's what happened last year? I do think Herb Charles will probably make the team, but I'm not 100% confident in that. I want to see, how the Jets handle special teams in the preseason games. But I do think Herb Charles will probably be on this team the same way they carried Justin Hardy as just like a special teams only player. Thanks for being a channel member, Connor. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Hey, there's 423 of you watching right now. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. That's it. Try to get to 40,000 subscribers by the start of the Jet season. All right? And I'm convinced if you're watching the show for free and you haven't hit the subscribe button, you don't love this great country. That's the only explanation. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now. Joining us on the line is a guy who looks like he's dressed to go interview for a high-profile job on Wall Street. Ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Boy. Hello, Johnny.
Hey, Jake. What's going on, brother? How you holding up, man?
Oh, I'm living the dream.
I hear you. Dude, hey, awesome with the takes from the green and white scrimmage, dude. I wanted to ask you a couple questions in regards of who are some of the players that you saw that you were like, shit, they're a beast, man. And if they get cut, they're going to make another team better. Like kind of like a Jason Pinnock type of thing.
Yeah, I would say some of the linebackers they have, like Chaz Surratt was making plays yesterday. But like, I don't think they're going to cut him. They wouldn't cut Jamin Sherwood. So I'm trying to think. JBC and Quantez Stiggers look pretty good at various points in coverage. Stiggers is not going to be cut. JBC, I think, is probably on this team, but I'd look at him. I'm trying to think. I mean, 30. The best answer I could give you is whoever the heck 34 is, right? Because I knew nothing about Hamz El Zayat, and yesterday he's making the biggest catch of the day on the 2-minute drive with Aaron Rodgers throwing to him. So that guy has a 5'8", 162-pound UDFA wide receiver out of Eastern Michigan, and that's a guy who made some plays, and I had no idea who the guy was. And I know, like, I'm a crazy enough Jet fan that I know, like, usually everyone on the roster, even the guys who have no chance of making the team, I had to look up who this guy was because I didn't even know who he was.
So this pretty much A-Rod, Tyron Taylor, competent quarterback plays, making a lot of these people that we would have never thought, and we have no idea what it feels like to have an actual good quarterback in the back, essentially, right? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, Tyrod looked good. I mean, he had some really good throws yesterday. It was impressive.
Yeah, dude. It's look, I cannot wait for it, man. You're right. I said that the only reason, and you hit it right on the head, was the whole linebacking core that we have. People are trying to nitpick on what we could possibly like add to make us better or anything, but I'm like, we're good, man. We got people that they're gonna get cut, they're gonna go to other teams, and they're gonna be stars on there, man. So, first and foremost, dude, thank you for always putting good content out there and everything, man. And dude, you gotta your arch enemy was on our show today, man. So you got to check that out, dude.
Who's my arch enemy, Alan?
No, man. Fake.
Oh, fake Asman.
Yeah, man.
I saw that. Yeah, I got to watch the show. I woke up too late to see it live, but I'll watch it back later.
Yeah, dude, you gotta. He was out there throwing some subtle jabs at you, man. I don't know, dude. So, but we had your back though. We had your back on it.
I appreciate that.
But Jake, I appreciate you, man. Dude, this was awesome.
Hey, before you go, Johnny, what time's the job interview today?
The job interview today is not happening because I took my tie off already as well, so came off. I have my little microphone on here in case, anybody wants to talk. Hey, what's going on, guys? And hey, dude. But yeah, man, normally this is when I got to go into the office is what I rock. So, but I don't. I even got a haircut for you, Jake.
You look great, Johnny. This is the best you've ever looked.
Yeah, man. Hey, Jake, keep doing your thing, brother. I appreciate it, man. I can't wait till the little one puts on the Asmaniac onesie, so I look forward to that. Got my hat,
too, man.
Showed it, so be on there. And JETS, Jess, we got this. Appreciate you, bro.
Johnny boy, you're the man. Great call. Appreciate your support. Hit the like button for Johnny boy. Shout out to everyone who's tuned in live right now. Big shout out to Mike D's Nuts. He says he loves his hoodie that he ordered. So thank you, Mike. If you want the same hoodie that Mike ordered, jakeasman.com. The merch store is open. Join the Patreon if you haven't. Jet fans, it's just $5. And guess what? You get everything in the merch store, 15% off. Bonus shows not on YouTube. Your name in the intro. Access to our Discord. It is worth the $5. Once you join Patreon, you'll never want to cancel it. It's that great. And if you're going to buy merch anyway, you'll save more than $5, so you're getting Patreon for free. JakeAsman.com. JakeAsman.com. Next week, we have a big-time merch drop coming. All right? Some back end of summer merch. We're going to drop some shorts. We're going to drop slides. We got big things in the works next week. More and more merch will continue to be added, but our next big merch drop is next week. So join the Patreon if you want to get everything discounted, 15% off. Mike says it's actually pronounced Tyrod, not Tyrod. So it's funny, right? So I did radio in Houston for 6 years. Tyrod Taylor was the Texans starting quarterback in 2021. And that summer, it was the first time that he told people that it's actually pronounced Tyrod and not Tyrod. The problem is he had already played 10 years in the league with everyone saying his name was Tyrod. So no one calls him Tyrod. We on the radio were like, we're going to start calling him Tyrod when everyone's called him Tyrod. Like it was a whole thing. So I still call him Tyrod because he doesn't seem to care about either one. But it actually is Tyrod for what it's worth. But he doesn't seem to mind. So I don't know. Also, happy birthday to Tyrod. Because yesterday he turns, I think 35. Although Rodgers joked on Instagram that it was his 40th birthday to be funny. Love it. Ron P says, I heard Zach is really stinking it up in Denver. Why am I not surprised?
He stinks.
I mean, we gonna blame the Jets for that one too, Wilson Truthers? Hey, does anyone have a jar of Wilson Truther tears I could drink this morning? I mean, come on. Also, it was Zach Wilson's birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Zach. More calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Jake is up next. Hello, Jake.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
What's up, Jake? How are you?
Good. I'm at my grandmother's now. That's why I'm like sitting at a weird angle. So I'm just trying to position my phone real quick. But yeah, I just wanted to check in. How's the offensive line gelling right now? I haven't really been following the camp as much.
I thought they played very well yesterday, considering the fact that for most of the for most of like the drives, AVT wasn't out there. Morgan Moses and Tyron Smith didn't play at all. And I thought Rodgers had a lot of time. And he also gets the ball out so quick that it helps neutralize an ineffective offensive line. But I thought the O-line looked pretty good. I thought Olu played well yesterday. He continues to be really good. So you're excited about his growth and his opportunities with rest days for Tyron, and Olu will play every game, I'd imagine, in the preseason. So I think you feel pretty good about the state of the line right now. They got to get the Tippmann snap thing figured out, but once that's rectified, I think you feel good.
Wait, he's having snap issues? What's going on with that?
Joe Tippmann's had several high snaps the last week, including yesterday, which killed the Jets' opening drive of the scrimmage. I'll put it up on the screen here.
Oh,
we went through every play of the scrimmage earlier, Jet fans, so rewind if you want to see it. This is from Ryan of Jets Talk, who did God's work filming it and putting it on his YouTube channel. Let me find the play.
High snap there. I see that. Yeah.
Yeah, but that wasn't the play that killed the drive. I think it was this one right here. Let's see.
I can't really see.
There it is.
Oh,
killed the drive. Instead of like,
dude, that's horrible. That's really bad.
Yeah, instead of like 2nd and goal at the 5, it became like 3rd and 30, and it basically killed the drive. Let me find it. Here it is. You've been unaware that Tippmann's had snap issues? It's been like the biggest story of the last week.
I mean, get Mangold in there, do something, whatever they got to do to get his act together, because that happens week 1. Forget it. We're cooked. Like let me ask you this, because John Simpson's had holding issues. So like, has he in camp? Has he been having, because they call penalties, they haven't done scrimmages yet. Has he had problems with holding? Because
not that I saw. No, he yesterday was their first scrimmage, and he didn't he didn't have anything that I saw that was called on him.
I mean, look, I guess I think we talked about bringing McGovern in. I think it's not a bad idea. Not saying that Tippmann's going to keep doing this, but they have to have insurance policies, especially because how injury prone the line is. I mean, we talk about Fashanu having to go in because Tyrod's going to be out at some point. Even Morgan Moses, what's going to happen if he goes down? The guy's not spring chicken either. So, and of course, AVT. I just want to make sure that's actually going well, because that's really the biggest deal of how this is going to be. We're gonna die on the hill on the concept of the line has to play well. The second thing also is all right, dude. Now Hassan Reddick. What the hell's going on with this? What's the deal?
There's no update as of this morning. I figured by now it would be done, right? Like last Saturday, there was the report that came out. Oh, they've had positive talks. I'm like, all right, well, let's get this done. They had an off day on Sunday. Let's get him in camp by Monday. Here we are, a full week later. Off day again today. Big week for the Jets this week with a joint practice on Thursday and a game next Saturday at MetLife. Are any of my listeners actually going to that game next Saturday? It's a noon kickoff, which feels like it's like a college football Big Ten game. Jets Commanders preseason game 1 at Jet Life. Noon kickoff next Saturday. But anyway, you want it done as soon as possible. The fact that it's not done yet, I'm not concerned yet, but I will say another week and you start to wonder what's the deal here. So that's what I want to know. Nate says, I'm tailgating at 7 a.m. next Saturday. Maybe I'll come to tailgate, because MetLife's only 20 minutes for me without traffic, which there wouldn't be that early in the morning. Maybe I'll come and tailgate next Saturday, and then I'll quickly Uber back and watch the game not in the stadium. So I don't know if I could sit there and do preseason, and then we'll be live for the post game right after. I'll figure it out. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, a super chat from King and Dreams, KND. My G Jake, happy Sunday, my guys / ladies in the chat. KND. How about a 5 spot from King and Dreams? 5 spots of membership. Phenom, Marty McFly, Harrison Bornstein, Malcolm Harper, John Gotti, all receiving as Maniac memberships. We are up to 20. I saw that there was a comment here from a disgruntled listener in the chat. Let me address this. Carly says, did the McNugget emoji get the boot? It did for now. I wanted to honor Rick Kent for all his greatness, even though he didn't want an emoji, but we didn't have enough to add a new emoji because we need so many more members to get that. So I replaced the McNugget emoji with this emoji for now. But it's only going to last for maybe this show, and that's it, because Rick Kent said he doesn't want it. He's the hero that wants to remain anonymous. So I will respect that, Rick, but we had to honor you for at least a couple shows here, especially because I didn't do one yesterday. Carly says, I would give up my emoji every day for Rick Kent to have one. So there you go. We'll bring it back. Also, Nate says he was joking about tailgating at 7 a.m. I kind of figured, Nate, but I don't know with you. You're kind of nuts. Let's see. We got a super chat here from Alan. I heard that Todd Dowling was calling plays yesterday. Any thoughts? I realized Rodgers changes 80% of the plays. Anyway, where did you hear that Downing was calling the plays? I didn't notice that. From what I saw Hackett with the walkie-talkie, giving the play call. Who? Tell me who reported that, Alan. I'm curious because that to me is interesting. If you're tuning in live right now, go back to the beginning of the video if you want a play-by-play recap of every play from the Jets' first-team offense against the first-team defense. Ladies and gentlemen, Big Fella writes in, Rick Kent had a change of heart and will keep it. Rick Kent then follows up and says, Jake, I'm giving in to peer pressure. The emoji can stay, but I don't want to take Carly's spot. Carly's the one who complained about that emoji anyway, so I thought I was doing her a favor by getting rid of that. But I'll tell you what, we get enough memberships, I will add back that McNugget emoji as quickly as I can. But I need more. All right. We need more Edgemos. Tom says the nugget emoji got me through some tough times. Me too. Peter says Carly didn't eat 73 nuggets in 10 minutes for no reason. It's true. I'll bring it back, but Rick Kent now wants his emoji to stay, so we need more. The only solution here is to get enough memberships where we can have both. And I will let you guys know how many we need to make that a reality. Because it's still a considerable amount. The problem is the memberships expire daily that were gifted last month. So, like, YouTube doesn't count memberships that you've already had. We need 147 for another emoji. It's a lot. It doesn't make any sense. Carly says, can we substitute the nugget emoji for an ace emoji? Ha, 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 ha. No. Mike D's Nuts with a super chat. Shout out to the Leos. Mine is this Thursday. LFG. Love it, Mike. Love it. Let's see. More calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy recently purchased the Charles Gorman tank top of champions. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Murph. Hello, Murph.
Hey, Jake. How's it going?
What's up, Murph?
Oh, just driving up to Pittsburgh, taking the boy to a Pirates game. I think Paul Skeens is pitching today, so it's going to be pretty cool for his
awesome,
first
man.
game, you know. First pro game. It's still Jets always, but I figure I'd take him to his first baseball game.
You kidding me? Yeah. Maybe Livy Dunn will be there, too. Then you really can make his day.
Yeah. And PNC Park's beautiful anyway. I always enjoy going there. So, but yeah, as far as Jets are concerned, something that I take away from all the camp and everything that we've heard so far is that, like you mentioned it earlier, like it feels really balanced, where in years past it felt like the defense just dominated all the time, right? And I think that's a really good sign. I don't think it's a knock on our defense. I think our defense is still legit. It's elite, but I think that that balance shows that, you know, we actually are going to have an offense this year. And I mean, that feels obvious because, you know, you go from Zach Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, like, you know that's going to happen. But it's good to hear that they're doing well. Like, you know, at times they're doing well even against an elite defense like ours. So I really like hearing that. And then I also want to get your take on. It seems like Alan Lazard is kind of raising some eyebrows. He's impressing at times. After this year, do you want him back? Like, even if he performs half decent, like let's say he has like 600 or 700 yards this year, what do you think? Would you want him back for another year, or you want to be rid of him?
Let's see how the year goes. Like is he? Can I get someone cheaper that could do that with Aaron Rodgers? Probably. Like I got to see how. Like, is he making big plays in clutch times? Like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes the stats don't tell the whole story. I think it's an eye test thing with Lazard.
Yeah, well, the thing about him, man, is just the way he kind of gave up last year. It rubbed me the wrong way. I as far as I'm concerned, unless he goes like 1,300 yards this year, I'm not concerned with bringing him back. You know,
this is the greatness of Lazard,
salary.
though, right? Or like more like the greatness of Rodgers. The last play here, like this was so badass by Rodgers and Lazard. So right after the PI called, the Eccles punch, game's on the line. They need to have this to get in the field goal range. Rodgers goes right back to him. Like, Lazard, he's not special. He just runs the route, and Rodgers throws him open. And if Lazard could just catch it like he did here, there's value in this. Like, Rodgers going back to him right away, throws it up, boom, catches it, run to the line of scrimmage, clock it. Like, Rodgers is comfortable with him. He knows the offense. There's value in that. Look, like you couldn't have executed the 2-minute drive better than Rodgers and the team did yesterday. Lazard was a big part of it. Like, that's all you're asking Alan Lazard to do when he plays.
Yeah, but like you said earlier, like, can we not find somebody else that can do that same job for cheaper? You know, next season. Yeah.
But that guy might not have the chemistry with Rodgers. Like Lazard's his binky, and if that's what he needs, fine.
Yeah. But Garrett's going to be that's going to be his binky, you know.
Oh yeah.
Especially after this year, once they get a year under their belt together. Oh man. But yeah, that's all I really had today. I just want to call and check in and just kind of bounce those couple of talking points off you. You want to do a Jets chant, Jace? No.
No.
He's being a butt right now.
That's all right. I hope he has a great time watching some Pirates baseball today. Paul Skeens, that's an awesome first game.
Yeah, I think it'll be great. Say hi, Jace.
Hi, Jace.
All right. Yep. Hey, everybody take it easy. Have a great Sunday. And I'll talk to you sometime later.
Murph, you got it. Enjoy the day with your son. That's awesome. Big shout out to a guy I met yesterday at training camp. I met him a couple times, the great 99 Jet. He just signed up for the Patreon for the year. He told me, he's like, I think my membership expired. I'm going to sign up again. Well, 99 Jet, you did it, baby. Everyone should follow 99 Jet's lead. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. $5 a month, or you save 15% if you sign up for the entire year. Bonus shows, Discord access, discounts on merch, name in the intro. What more do I have to say? Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Hey, Dorino checks in. Yo, Jake, favorite H-Town supporter / Texans fan here. Dorino, miss you, man. Thanks for the support. Little known fact, when we lost the Oilers, I became a Curtis Martin fan, and I still have his jersey. Wow. Love that. Love that. I respect the hell out of that. That's great. Curtis Martin, one of the greats. Number 28 on the field, number 1 in every Jet fan's heart. Hope all is well, Dorino. Thanks for the super chat, man. It means a lot. I enjoyed watching the Texans in the Hall of Fame game the other night. Football is back. Happy birthday to Greg Rallo, who's one of our frequent commenters. I don't know how he's not a channel member because he comments all the time. Do you not have memberships turned on, Greg? Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Ask me anything to wrap up the show. Throw in any questions. Jet or non-Jet related, fire it off. Reminder about our event on Wednesday this week. I think I last checked before the show, there were 5 spots left. RSVP if you're coming. East Hanover, 15 minutes from Florham Park. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Richie and myself hanging out, enjoying Mexican food, enjoying guacamole the way it's supposed to be enjoyed. By rubbing it all over your body. Right, Bobby? I'm just kidding. Speaking of which, where's Bobby? Where's Robert Midnight? He is not called in today. I called into his show from training camp yesterday, though. Since we haven't had any Bobby yet, I know people are dying for some Bobby Midnight. I present to you vintage Bobby.
You know what it is? They can't get the taxes out of that in Airbnb because of Zell and all that stuff. They were that so they outlawed it. That's basically what it is.
That must have been recent because I stayed at an Airbnb like maybe about 2.5 years ago.
Was it in Manhattan?
Huh?
Was it in Manhattan?
No, I was in Brooklyn.
Okay, I know Brooklyn and Queens has Airbnbs. If you're looking to go out there, you
yeah.
definitely could.
Oh,
like,
okay.
You could look in, I think, to Long Island City. I don't know if they have hotels and whatnot there, but Long Island City is like a Manhattan, brand new Manhattan. Like there's a brand new skyline. I know people that.
That's awesome.
Bobby, what are you singing, Bobby?
Nothing.
Vintage Bobby Midnight. Nothing like it. One more for you folks. In honor of meeting the Mr. Bonesy fam yesterday.
What's up, fellas?
Come on, what are you doing?
You're in trouble now, Jake.
Hi, Mr. Bones. How you feeling today? How's the little kids doing?
I can't concentrate. Jake.
Been a pimple on my ass all morning so far.
He's playing extra fart sounds, so we gotta.
You talk to Alan, but you can't talk to me. Oh, thank you. Stop that freaking noise. Stop. Stop farting. Stop with that farts.
Yeah. Little Bobby Midnight for the people. Curvin, should we be worried about Tippmann snaps? If it continues another week, I'll say yes. I'm not there yet. Right? There was really only one brutal snap. There were a couple others that were high, but nothing that like you're going to panic. I think we're so hyper-focused on it now that even snaps that maybe are like a little high that like just normally happen over the course of an NFL game are being hyper-scrutinized. Like we could go through it right now if we want. We have the footage. Let's go through each play and count how many quote-unquote bad snaps there were. First play, that's not high. Right? Keep going here. Next play. This is from the Jets' first drive. They only had 3 drives before the 2-minute. That's a normal snap. That's fine. Next play. Alert, alert, alert. Rodgers, by the way, changing stuff at the line was awesome to see. That's not high. That's fine. Next play. Come on, Aaron. Snap the ball. We're trying to do this. A little high, but Rodgers one-handed it there. Like, that was on the first drive. Didn't affect the play or anything, though, but, like, I don't know. Next play. There were no bad high snaps on the 2-minute drive, which was the best drive of the day for the offense. Right here. Nope, normal snap. Next play. A lot of motion. Little high, but like, I mean, like this to me, like, would we be focusing on this if Tippmann didn't have a history of snaps last week that were high? Like, this really is not that high. Like, look where it is. Like, Rodgers basically said, like, my neck and my chest, that area were fine. Like, this was easy. Like, this didn't affect Rodgers. One of his best plays of the day. Watch. All right, no one's open. Oh, I see Ruckert. Let me make it nice and easy. Pitch and catch. Get it right to him. Boom. There it is. Like, this was a handoff here, but, like, there was nothing wrong with this snap. That was easy. Next play here. Little high, like I don't think this is like I'd have to watch everything like this is a little high, not ideal that Rodgers has to one-hand it, but didn't affect the play or anything. Does it need to get better? Absolutely. Are we so hyper-focused in and on it now? Yes. That's part of it. This is the real problem here. Let me skip ahead. Rodgers called timeout here. Didn't like what he saw. I didn't even know you could call timeout on a scrimmage, by the way, but I guess when you're Aaron Rodgers, you can do what you want. Like, watch. He's like, play action. No one's open. This was a really good play by C.J. Mosley. And this is the problem here. This was the high, unless he calls timeout here. This might be the timeout. No, they're running the play. Yeah, that is bad. This can't happen. No, we can't have this. All right. We can't be doing this. Can we all agree this is not good? Like, that's high. Even if the big fella was under center, it'd be too high. And I hate seeing Rodgers run after the ball here. I know it's live, but, like, what are we doing? The last thing we need is him getting hurt on this play. Get out of the way, Salah. Also, I don't know if you could tell from this angle here. I saw like Nicole of Jets Twitter had a great view of this. Not only did Tippmann snap the ball high, watch it, but 95 Q just just eats him. I mean, man. He gets tossed like a rag doll. Like he's on the ground. Like, look, you see Tippmann right there? Ass on field because 95 eats him. But that was that was bad. Everything else was not egregious. It was fine. It will get better. Dano says, would you ever do a show in khakis with a red sweater? I've been Jake from State Farm for Halloween for like a decade. At least one of the nights. In fact, I have the red polo in my closet that one of my friends back in college iron pressed the logo on. So I'm ready at any time. Jet-based girl. We won 7 games last year with virtually no quarterback. I think we can handle a couple bad snaps. Yeah, but to be fair, this could cost you a game, right? If a bad snap when the game is tight goes over the head of Rodgers and it leads to a turnover or it kills a touchdown drive, like that's the difference in the game. So you can't have that. It's got to be cleaned up. Ladies and gentlemen, we were wondering where this guy was. I hope he's well rested. I hope he was sleeping in on a Sunday morning, and that's why he hasn't called in. But that changes right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Bob from Vermont.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course.
Hello, Bob.
Yes, I did sleep. I just woke up.
How you doing, Bob?
Good. I just saw you wanted me in, so I had to call in.
Well, I was just wondering where you were. People were asking.
I was sleeping. Sleep.
How'd you sleep? Good?
Very good, yeah.
Any sweet dreams?
No. Not really.
No.
Nope. Do you think Connor McGovern will show up tomorrow?
No. I don't think he'll be there tomorrow.
No. Why not? Don't you need help for that guy? Tippmann?
I would take him back, but I don't know if they're going to sign him tomorrow.
Well, before the season starts, hopefully.
I hope they do.
Yeah.
Rat Diddy wants to know, were you out late last night at the Fuzzy Grape?
No, I haven't gone there for a long time, Rat Diddy now.
Bobby, I want you to know.
Right. At least you got the name right, not Fuzzy Grape, not Fuzzy Peach, like the last time you said.
Yeah, he's learning. I want you to know that the number one thing I was asked yesterday was various things about you.
Who?
A bunch of listeners were coming up to me asking about Bobby Midnight and is he coming to the meetup? Is he bringing the orange chair?
Well, I don't know. I only got 2 weeks. I don't think I'm going to make the 17th.
But the home opener, you'll be there.
Yeah, for me there. Of course, because I got to drive B-Mac and then pick him up.
With the chair?
Yeah, it's going to be in the trunk. Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Yes. And happy birthday, Bonesy. I saw it was your birthday.
The 40th birthday spectacular,
okay.
Mr. Bonesy.
Okay, put me on full screen, please.
Are you going to sing for Bonesy?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Midnight.
Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Bonesy. Happy birthday to you. And I hope you have a great day, my friend. Okay, how's that? Isn't that good?
I thought it was great.
Thank you very much. Did Bonesy like that or no? He's still in chat.
I don't know. I haven't spoken.
I hope he didn't leave chat. Okay, now you can take me off the screen. I'm done.
I hold on. You don't make demands. I got to find the button.
Oh, come on. You know where the button is. Stop it.
No, stop.
I got chills. Bobby, love you, buddy, he said. Oh, come on. Just for that.
Wow, Bobby. Such a shame that you left. And it's a bad job by you for leaving. Really, 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 just terrible job by you leaving. Because one of your all-time favorites is on the line.
Hi, Carly. First time I talked to you. You're a nice lady. Where are you from, New York?
Hi, Mom.
Bad job by you, Bobby. Look who's here.
My hair. Oh, wow. My hair looks really bad. I just got out of the shower. But hello. I wanted to give the breakdown of the practice.
Oh, yes. Can you give some training camp scrimmage takes? Let's hear it.
My only takeaway, and I told you this, and I forgot who else. Maybe Brandon. I said the best player in all of warm-ups is Jeremy Ruckert.
Why?
He was just like such a leader. You could tell.
How so?
It was the vibe, the aura, as the kids say.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, look who's called back in. Hey, Bobby.
Oh. Hey, Bobby.
All right, bye, Bobby. You lost. You blew it.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that's right. Got to take a stand here. Bobby's making demands, wants to go full screen. Now he's leaving.
I have another take.
Yep, keep going. What else stood out from your day watching the Jets?
Well, okay. Let me get to it. But remember the Pilates class that we went to?
Yes.
And how the air conditioning wasn't working and the mirrors were fogged up.
That's what it was like. That's what it was like at One Jets Drive.
Yeah, well, so we went to that class a month ago, and I was like, okay, a month later, I'm sure they fixed the air conditioning. I went back this morning, not fixed, was 98 degrees, and yet somehow I sweat more yesterday at Jets camp.
It was excruciating hot yesterday. There's no doubt. Even in the shade, it was still just one of those days.
It was unbearable. I wanted to go home with Bonesy and his kids when they were leaving. I was like, do you think they could get me out of here?
How cute were the Bonesy kids?
Oh my God. The cutest little outfits and jerseys. Oh, I couldn't deal. There were so many cute kids yesterday, really all dressed up in their Jets gear. It was adorable.
But you were dressed up in your Asmaniac gear.
I was.
Tremendous
I got
job.
a lot of compliments. I got stopped by so many people. They were like, oh my gosh, Carly, I love you on the show.
I was like, stop. Her ego's high enough. We can't do this.
My ego is swelling.
Yep.
But we had a great day. I had a lovely time.
What were your thoughts on the way the starting offense looked? Give us your expert breakdown.
Phenomenal. 17-0. See you guys at the Super Bowl. Where is the Super Bowl? New Orleans?
New Orleans, yep.
See you guys on Bourbon Street.
We'll see you there.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts here? I'm going to leave you on a little longer to torture King Lowski.
I learned something very important.
What'd you learn?
That Green Bean and Boy Green are not the same person.
That was actually a very funny. But she asked me yesterday. So wait, Boy Green and Green Bean, they're not the same person. I go, no, they are. They are two separate people.
I was a little confused.
But you don't know who Boy Green is, correct?
I don't know. I don't think I know who either of them are, really.
Boy Green was the guest on Friday's show.
Oh, he's the Syracuse one.
He lives in Oswego and works in Syracuse.
He works at the Syracuse radio station now.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Then I don't know who the other one is.
You don't know who Green Bean is?
I don't think so.
I can show you who Green Bean is. Stand by. Ladies and gentlemen, Gator McCluskey.
This person's called in under the name Green Bean. So let's go to Green Bean. He's next up on the Ghostbuster hotline. Green Bean, what do you got for us?
There he is. This is not my vape pen. This is an Apple TV remote. Hey, guys, Green Bean here. Are these Jets for real? I mean, will Denzel Mims be a difference maker this year? We'll get into all of that, but before we get started, I do want to remind you of those milk thumbs.
There it is.
Bean! We gotta get going. Great Adventure has fireworks tonight.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They have a new coaster there. Well, thanks, boys. I don't want you to forget to shave your balls with Manscaped. Promo code Jets Forever. Oh, shit, she started the mobile home. Stop, no, don't leave the counters outside the window. Or, honey, hold on, don't leave yet.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh my God.
Production value, Jake. That was good.
I mean, every time we get a new Gator impersonation, the production value, the impersonation, it just gets better and better.
Yeah, well, that was actually my RV too. That was really my RV. That was good. That was my whole show. I mean, that was everything I do in the vape pen. I haven't vaped since April 1st, everybody. So, so there's that. But it's going to take a while for people to undo that visual. I always had a vape in my mouth for quite a long time. But
so we're going to get into all of it here. Again, my name is Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. We come 2 hours after every final whistle here for the post-game show. And I'm going to be honest. The only good thing that happened to me late tonight, early this morning, was making sweet, passionate love to my fiance, which I did after the article was written and that kind of stuff. That's the only good thing that happened. Not great. Terrible.
So now you know the differences. There you go.
There we go.
Also,
the sweet, passionate love comment. I definitely remember that.
Yes, you can't forget it. Boy Green, a great love maker.
Hey, congrats on the sex.
He'll be with us on Fridays throughout the season. We have some more merch ideas that I wanted to cover with you. I was going to call you after the show, but why don't we just do our business meeting live on the air? Ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts on these ideas for merch?
Wow. I'm speechless.
I think the Lane Train tank top is definitely something that needs to go into production.
I don't know about that.
What are your thoughts on the Lane Train teddy bear?
I love it. My teddy bear's coming tomorrow.
How about the Bobby Midnight crew neck of him sitting on the orange chair?
Yeah, that's really special.
Your thoughts on the V-Man poop hat?
Listen, I've never seen anything like that.
I think there's some great ideas here. The Knoble sweatshirt. I mean,
somebody yelled about Knoble yesterday.
Yeah, shout out to whichever listener just yelled something about Knoble to me at training camp.
Oh, shout out to 99 Jets.
He just became a Patreon member.
What?
He just became a Patreon member.
Oh my gosh, yay. I'm so glad he was so nice he recognized me.
Shout out to Dave. He just became an official as Maniac. Dave,
yay, Dave.
Well done. What else do we have here? What's the top right one? That's the top left. I mean, chicken ass. That's what Bobby called someone. Who did Bobby call chicken ass? I forget. Anyone remember?
I don't know. Lowski, your slides will be in the next drop. The next drop is the summer collection is going to be flip-flop slides. I already forgot. Shorts, because Boomtown said he wants shorts. And he won my contest. Dog bandana. That might be it.
I love it. Let's continue.
It's going to be a good one.
Okay, there you go. JakeAsman.com to get all your merch. Carly, do you have time to stay on for this next caller? Because I'd imagine this person's going to ask for some training camp takes out of you.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is Charles Eugene M. Gorman, IV. Hello, Charles.
Hey, Carly. Nice to meet you.
Charles, we've met before.
We have. I don't remember.
Yeah, you don't remember me? Oh, that's so sad. Asman, do you have the video or no?
I don't have that handy now.
Oh, that's okay. I'm forgettable, I guess.
I wouldn't say you're forgettable.
Well, you forgot me.
It's been a while. Anyway, how are you, Jake?
I'm good, Charles. Where's the tank top? I thought you were going to call in wearing the Asman tank.
Hold on, let me put it on right now for you.
All right, here we go. Silence your phone, whoever that is. Carly.
Me.
You have no respect for what we're doing here.
It's
All right?
not that. I could explain. Wait, Charles, I thought you why don't you take off the other tank and then put that one on?
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Strip show.
Stand up. Give us the view. Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Looking good, Chuck.
Thank you. Please don't call me that.
Sorry, let's start over. Hold on. Looking good, Charles.
Thank you. Anyway, is this for the Whited scrimmage today or from yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday.
I don't think there's a scrimmage today, Charles. So it was from yesterday.
Stop with the phone. Silence it. What are you doing?
Phone. Oh.
What is it? Your computer?
Yeah.
Go into settings and hit mute.
I was on Richie. I'm sorry. I talked with it about on Ryan's show yesterday. From Jets Talk.
Okay, I'm gonna leave. My computer's making too much noise.
Carly, great job. Thanks for your training camp takes. We couldn't have done it without you.
Charles, good to see you, but I guess nice to meet you since you don't remember me.
Nice to see you too, Carly.
Goodbye.
You're pretty.
Continue, Charles.
She's pretty.
Charles, you're gonna make me do this?
What?
Oh, you know.
Calm your freaky down.
Calm my freaky down. It's just
Calm your freaky down.
They call you Chuck Gormani?
What the fuck?
Whoa, language, Charles. What are we doing here?
On behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
Anyway. I heard that Joe Tipman struggled with the snaps again a little bit yesterday. He should get better with it over time. I think we should definitely bring back Connor McGovern regardless, though.
I agree.
For purposes. All right, the defense made some good plays. The offense made some good plays here and there. Alan Lazard's starting to play better.
He's been good. He's been very consistent.
Should have been like that last year, but that's another story.
Yeah. What else is new, Chuck? Charles?
Just a little excited about Wednesday, that's all.
So is it confirmed that you're coming Wednesday? Have you rethought it over? You'll be in attendance?
I'll try my best to be there. I know I put myself I will be there, but when are you going to be there, Jake?
I'll be there at 7 when it starts.
Place is open longer than that, right?
What do you mean?
Never mind, that was a stupid question. My apologies.
You think the thing is just at 7 and then that's it? Like everyone shows up and then they leave?
No, I'm just saying, like, I've never been to Don Jose, so it'll be my first time there if I go.
I've never been either.
But it should be fun going there.
Are you going?
Well, I did say on the event that I'll be there, but I'll let you know if anything changes.
It starts at 7.
I know.
And then you're going to enjoy some good Mexican food and Jet fan camaraderie.
I know that, Jake.
I don't think you do.
I know the event's from 7 to 10, but I won't be there for the whole event. I'll probably be there for about an hour or so.
That's okay. You can come from 7 to 8. And remember, I'm going to cover your transportation, your Uber on the way there, and your food.
I'm actually going to cover. I actually got plenty of Uber money to go there, but you can cover my way home.
I can do that for you.
Sorry,
JJ, what's so funny? I see you laughing on hold there. What are you laughing at?
He says, that was hilarious. Charles says, I don't need you to pay for me to get there. Just pay for me to get home. What different? It's the same thing.
JJ, for once, you make a good point. I'll come back to you in a moment. Yeah, your thoughts on that, Charles?
I understand what he means, but still, I understand it doesn't make much of a difference, but I still got plenty of Uber money on me, so.
Nate says he has plenty of Uber money to get for not to get.
No, I my Uber budget's kind of weird. Anyways, it was good talking with you, Jake.
Trevor wants to know, Jake, would you allow Charles to pull up with a couple of baddies?
What the hell does
Charles,
that mean?
You know what a baddie is?
A woman?
Yeah, an attractive female. You know, I picture you showing up on Wednesday with 2 very attractive ladies on each arm.
I'm not like that, Jake. No.
No? That's the perception of you. You've done a great job of kind of cultivating that image.
I'm not like that, Jake. Anyways, I'm going to get ready. Shameless self-promo alert. I'm going to get ready for my live stream soon.
What time is that starting?
1:30.
And what's the topic of the stream?
More random Jets talk. We'll continue where we left off yesterday.
Why random? Why can't we focus in on something specific?
I said more random Jets talk.
Right, but I'm saying, why is it random? Like, what's random about Jets talk?
We could talk about anything Jets. We could talk about the past. We could talk about the present. We could talk about the future.
So this kind of sounds like an X-Men movie, like X-Men Days of Future Past. Yeah.
Well, we're not traveling back in time, Jake.
How do you know? We haven't done the show yet.
I don't have that type of power.
Not yet.
Or this ain't Back to the Future where I get a nice car and I go.
Yeah, do that sound effect again. I'm going to go full screen.
Zoom.
There it is.
But
Gator writes in, Charles, next topic, how many Ubers could Bruce Wayne afford?
He could probably afford a lot because he's fucking Bruce Wayne.
This is a family program, family show.
On behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
My apologies, kiddies.
Well, Charles, I can't wait to see you on Wednesday, all right? You're going to have a baddie on each arm.
I can't wait to see you too, Jake. Thanks. What's the clapping for?
I was waiting for you to leave. Oh, he's gone. Carly says, still can't believe Charles doesn't remember meeting me. Get over yourself. No, I'm just kidding. Charles should remember. That was a great moment a couple of years ago. I do remember that. Charles, you're the man. Charles, be prepared though. I know a lot of people are going to see you, and it's going to be like meeting a celebrity. So they're going to ask you for they're going to ask you for the chicken soup recipe. Chef Kevin's a chef, and he wants to know what the recipe is. All right. Nick Shine says, Charles, you're the man. What a call. All right, we go back to JJ, who made a salient point on the line before. JJ, hello. What were your thoughts on the Charles Gorman call?
I thought it was awesome. I'm always pleasantly surprised by the way Charles throws a curse word in there out of nowhere. He's like Randy Orton with the RKO, just a curse word out of nowhere. Real quick, I want to give you guys a little of my story, my Jets story. No one cares, but I'm going to tell you guys anyways.
Hold on, JJ. My bad. I hit something on my computer here. I lost sound, so I can't hear you. I got to figure this out. Hold on. Check 1, 2. I should be able to hear you again. Go ahead.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, now I do. I all I heard was I want to give you, and then I didn't hear the rest.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I want to give you guys a little bit of my. No one cares, but I want to tell you something that's really dear to my heart. So before I was able to afford season tickets, I would always go to preseason games because the tickets to that are like $10. But before I could afford to go to those $10 preseason tickets, I would always go to the green and white scrimmage because it's free, and they would usually do it at like Rutgers or they would do it at like MetLife Stadium. So fast forward, that green and white scrimmage is like near and dear to my heart. And I was really sad yesterday because I couldn't make it because for some reason the last 2, maybe even 3 years, they've been doing it at One Jets Drive during the day, 11 o'clock in the morning, which really is like super annoying to me because I remember 3 years ago they did it, which was probably like the last time they did it at MetLife Stadium. Like that was when I actually found out who Mike White was because he was lighting it up better than Zach Wilson. But the point is, I just don't understand why they do it at One Jets Drive. It used to be a thing. Come out to the green and white scrimmage. It would be at Rutgers. It would be at MetLife Stadium. The whole stadium wouldn't get filled up, but at least like 20,000 people would show up for a green and white scrimmage, and it was an event. And then they would do fireworks at the end of it and let people on the field, and you get to meet like so many players. I actually got to meet Garrett Wilson after one of those. So I just hope that for next year they just bring it back to MetLife because this is annoying.
Well, I can tell you they didn't do it last year because of the Hall of Fame game. They didn't have it. The year before that, I don't know where they did. I guess they did it at the facility too. And then 21 was the last time they did it at MetLife because I was there.
Whenever the last time they did it at MetLife, am I wrong? No, because I remember after they did it, I met Garrett Wilson. So whenever his rookie year was the last time I think they did it at MetLife.
Actually, the last time they did it at MetLife was 2022. That was the last year.
Yeah, and it was cool. They did the fireworks after. I get it, but I can't. That One Jets Drive, it doesn't even hold enough people. A lot of the fans were complaining the last time I went there that it was they let so many people there, which I don't mind that they're letting so many fans there. It's a great thing. I just feel like for that one event they should have just did it at MetLife. But once again, I complain about everything, so who cares? I just I always look forward to the green and white, and I didn't get to go this year, so I was disappointed.
Self-awareness, JJ. I like it.
Yeah, I got a lot of self-awareness. I know you guys think I'm a bitter Jet fan. Listen, I just have higher expectations than everybody else because I believe in this team more than everybody else. I think we should win week 1 against San Francisco because I think that we should be the better team. And you know what? I wanted to ask you this. How do you feel? You probably talked about it, but I didn't get the chance to catch the show a couple of days. How do you feel about Aaron Rodgers saying that Robert Saleh did not tell him that he wasn't playing in the preseason? Big deal or not a big deal?
No, I don't think it's a big deal at all because if you watch the whole interaction, first off, when Saleh's talking about it, he's like he's not going to play in the first 2, obviously, and then was like we haven't decided on the third one. It'd be the same thing as last year. And when Aaron was asked about it, he talked about it. He's like, well, I haven't been told that, but he's like, look, when it comes to the preseason, it's not what it was. Like if he wants me to play, I'll play. I thought that was a nothing burger.
Okay, because a lot of people were making a big deal about it. They were saying, how does the head coach and the quarterback are not on the same page? Because he seemed like he was surprised. He was like, that's the first I'm hearing that I'm not going to be playing in any of the preseason games. So I don't know. It just always rubs me the wrong way that there's always something coming out about Saleh. And I think that the reason it bothered me is because he's in the offensive room more now. He's supposed to be meeting with the quarterback, meeting with the offense a lot more. So I would assume that they would have discussed this at some point. So the fact that Aaron Rodgers said he was, surprised. But if you think it's not a nothing burger, then I guess I'm with you on that then.
Yeah, I good call, JJ. Honestly, one of your better ones. The Wi-Fi even held up, incredible. To me, it's like if you watch the whole thing, it's like you knew he wasn't going to play in the first 2 anyway. I don't think Robert Saleh needs to tell Aaron Rodgers he's not playing in the first 2 preseason games. What he said was the Giants game they haven't made the decision on. I think it comes down to what Aaron wants. I think if Aaron Rodgers goes to Robert Saleh and says, hey, I'd like to play in that game, I think he'll play a drive or 2 like he did last year. I believe that. All right, last chance to get your comment read. This one is from What Happened to Jets House at Spin. I don't know what happened to that. I don't even know what that is, to be honest with you. Right? Jets House at Spin. Someone knows what Mike's talking about, please write it in the chat because I'm not sure. Bang Mateo, what did Rucker do at the scrimmage? He clearly was tight end too. He was out there with the starters every drive, had a couple nice catches, a couple plays. I thought Rucker had a nice day. And football expert Carly called in earlier and said she loved Rucker's leadership, whatever that means. Ladies and gentlemen, a member of the esteemed 4% female demographic that supports this show is on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Graves joins us now. Hello, Jay Graves.
Hey, how is everybody today?
We're living the dream, Jay Graves.
I will say I actually agree with JJ about the green and white game not being at MetLife because 2022 I was supposed to go, but I wasn't feeling well because that's like the only tickets you can get for preseason because they opened up, the whole stadium, and I was like low key bummed too that they did it at One Jets Drive. Like it kind of was crappy, but I mean, but whatever, it is what it is. I got tickets from you, so it's all good. But I just wanted to call and say, I mean, I'm excited about meeting you and Richie on Wednesday, but now that I know Charles is coming, I mean, forget you guys. It's all about Charles.
Let's be real. When Charles shows up with two beautiful broads on each arm, Jay Graves, oh man, it's going to be wild.
I mean, how can you compete with that? I mean, you can't.
Can't.
And then I heard you guys talking about being in line for what time do you guys? I know they start busting you at what 9:30 over
Earlier
to
than
the
that.
practice. What time do you guys? I'm thinking some of the Jersey Shore, so I gotta leave here like 6 a.m. anyways to beat rush hour traffic. So I'll probably be there early. What time does everybody start lining up?
Yeah, it's early. It's I think the parking lot opens at like 8. I'd have to check. And I mean the buses started busing people at like 8:30, but the line is long. Luckily, shout out to Chef Kevin. I executed a flawless chat and cut to get right behind him and his family near the front of the line, so it worked out.
Yeah, like I said, I'll be up in the butt crack of dawn. Otherwise, I'm all the way back down when I exit 80. So I mean, I gotta come up a bit. So I'll be stuck in all our local BS rush hour traffic if I don't leave here by like 6:30. So I'll be there early. So
I love it, Jay Graves. I can't wait to meet you.
yeah, I know. Looking forward to it. So I will see some people. I'm looking forward to meeting other Asmaniacs too. Hopefully on Wednesday. So it'll be a good time.
It's gonna be a party. RSVP
Yeah.
if you're coming.
I'm excited.
Charles Gorman RSVP'd. He says he's coming.
He says we gotta hold him to it though.
That's
I mean,
right.
you're paying for his Uber. He's got no excuses now.
To be clear, I'm paying for his Uber on the way home,
right.
not on the way there.
He's got Uber money to get there. Yeah.
Right. He's got the funds to get there, according to him.
All right, Jake. Have a good rest of your Sunday.
Jay Graves, you as well. Great call as always. Jay Graves is the best. Love Jay Graves. Is Jay Graves coming on the 17th? I think you are, right, Jay Graves? Right in the chat. I think you're coming to T Squared on August 17th. Kevin says, LOL. Yeah, shout out to Chef Kevin, man. We're literally walking online, saw Chef Kevin, and I'm like, let's go. And we hung out with Chef Kevin. And then Nick Shine called me, and we did the chat and cut for Nick Shine. D-Rob says, can we get a Bobby signing? He called earlier. Bang Mateo says, handle AR with kids' mittens. No preseason game, please. I can't kill you for having that opinion, Bang. I'm under the opinion of whatever Rodgers wants, I think you do. If he says, I'm ready, I don't need to play in the preseason, fine. If he says, I'd like to play a drive or two in the last game against the Giants so he's comfortable, I'm in. I defer to what Aaron needs. All right, he's in his 17th year starting. He's a Hall of Famer. He's coming off this injury. If he thinks he needs to play, then I think he should play. That's how I look at it. Carly says we did a lot of chatting and a lot of cutting. There was. Need to be done. A lot of sweating yesterday, too. Snowball wants to know, will Steve Asman be at Don Jose? I don't think my dad's coming to that. He'll be at T Squared, though. Also, very little self-awareness by Steve this morning. He called me in the middle of the show. Come on. Let's see. JJ, Super Chat, cuts the line. This has been a long show already. Wow. 2 hours and 14 minutes. Don't say I don't come through for the people after I couldn't go live yesterday due to my schedule. Good, yeah, long show this morning. It's already the afternoon. We got Yankee baseball coming on. I got to get the TV ready. Where's Will McDonald? It's been disappointing so far. He didn't make any notable plays that I saw yesterday. Oh, my dad's watching. Not going to Jersey. There it is. He was in between with he was rotating with the ones and the twos. He had a couple spin moves, I noticed. But the pass rush, at least when Aaron was out there, he had a lot of time. Like they got the ball out so quick. There weren't a lot of deep shots downfield. Like most of the plays here where ball was out within a second or two. Like it was very quick. So I don't think anyone should be that surprised. Like, watch. 1, 2, balls out. Here's Garrett Wilson. This was so much of the scrimmage yesterday. Let's see what McDonald does in some of the preseason games, because he's going to be a guy that I think will play. They're going to want to get him his reps. Super chat from Jets Johnny. Jets, Jets. AR is him. Hell yeah. Tyrone Garcia with a super chat. Let's go. We have a game next week. Getting tired of media people trying to make negative news about Rodgers and Garrett and how solid Jesus will dominate and shut them all up. Go Jets. Sign me up for that philosophy. Dominating? I'm in. I don't disagree with you, by the way. I think there's the biggest joke ever was the Rodgers Garrett stuff being a story. Like, get lost. Watch Garrett Wilson dominate all season long. This, by the way, was vintage Garrett Wilson right here. Rodgers, ball's out. Boom, Garrett's open. You know when they talk about throwing a guy open? This is what they talk about it here. All right? You tell me, is Zach Wilson making this throw? No. And just the little stuff on this play, too, is why Aaron Rodgers is one of the greats to ever do it, right? In the pocket, footwork impeccable, steps up. Garrett's not open yet, but the ball's already out. These two guys are locked in. The ball is already out of Rodgers' hand. And Garrett, you tell me, is Garrett Wilson open yet? Where's the window? But great quarterbacks throw guys open. And the placement of this football, low and in a spot where Garrett Wilson is the only player on the field that has a chance to make a play on it. Ready? Watch. Right there. Look where the ball is. The only person who's making a play on this is Garrett Wilson. Watch it again. Here we go. Garrett's not open yet, but Rodgers already is about to release the ball. Ball's out right there. That's excellent coverage by, I think, DJ Reed. What are you going to do, though? Look where the ball is placed. Look at the ball. Low and in a spot where only Garrett Wilson has a chance to catch it. If this was Zach Wilson, that throw would be high. Garrett Wilson would be getting a hospital ball. But like we saw this all throughout the day yesterday. I mean, I'm telling you, folks. Rodgers was cooking. Here's Jeremy Ruckert. Shout out to Bang Mateo. Ladies and gentlemen, Bang Mateo has heart palpitations watching this. Ready? Watch 89, Bang. Watch 89. Oh, no. Where's Jeremy Ruckert? Well, there he is. Rodgers, pitch and catch. Where's more from Jeremy Ruckert, you might ask? Well, let's find some stuff for Bang Mateo to enjoy. Ready? Here we go. First drive of the second half. After the third and long completion of Brayon Allen. Where's Jeremy Ruckert? Oh, Bang Mateo. Holy crap. There he is. A catch and pickup of 5 by Jeremy Ruckert, the pride of Lindenhurst, Long Island. F you, Bang Mateo. F you. That's what Jeremy Ruckert was saying as he was running. Bang Mateo still finding a way to complain. Our passing game looking like a one-trick pony. What are you talking about? First off, Mike Williams and Xavier Gibson didn't play yesterday, and the Jets didn't have 3 of their 5 starting offensive linemen yesterday. AVT was on a rep count. He didn't play in the second half. Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses got rest days. What are you talking about? One-trick pony. They're going to run the ball a lot with Brees. Do you think having the second best running back in football is a one-trick pony? Is the trick scoring points? Because that's what the Jets are going to do if they're a one-trick pony. Like, what are you watching here, man? Bang Mateo with more stupidity. Garrett here, Wilson there, Wilson here, Garrett there. God forbid Garrett Wilson misses time. Yeah, obviously it'd be a big blow if the number one receiver on your team misses time. But the idea that it's only Garrett Wilson, the biggest play of the game yesterday, Bang, let's remind you who made it. In the 2-minute drill, game on the line, who made the biggest play of the day? Alan Lazard, right here, drawing the PI on 3rd down, which leads to the fisticuffs between him and Brandon Eccles, which I love. Look at Eccles trying to throw a punch with a helmet on. Stupid. But things were getting heated yesterday in the heat. And then I bring you back to the very next play. There's 15 seconds left on the clock. They're not in field goal range necessarily just yet. What does Aaron Rodgers do on the exact next play? Right after that fisticuffs. What does he do, Bang Mateo? Who does he look at? He goes to his blinky or his binky, whatever it's called. His Alan Lazard here. Ready? Same play. Boom. Ball's already out. You tell me, is Alan Lazard open here? No, but Aaron Rodgers will make sure he is somehow. Where are you? Like, can you throw a better ball? Please. Boom. And Lazard does the right thing, gets up, runs it to the ref, clocks the ball. Here comes the game-winning kick by Greg the Leg. Jets offense beats the defense in the scrimmage. And it's all done. Kick is good. Jets win. Nate writes in, has anyone seen Bang Mateo and Allen in the same room? It's a good point. I mean, it's just a silly comment, that Bang. Their passing game will get better as the summer goes on. When they get Mike Williams back, when they get Xavier Gibson back. That's how this goes. Super chat from Tyrone, who checks in. Rodgers and Garrett should argue before every game. They connected for 3 touchdowns after the last one. Go Jets. And they weren't even arguing, man. They were just guys just going over stuff. They're passionate. They want to win. I'll take that over what we've watched any day. Garrett was cooking yesterday, man. The guy's special. Special. All right. Let's end the show on a high note after watching those disgusting Rodgers completions again. I want to thank everyone who tuned in. The Bufffalo Jets Fan was on for the first hour and change of the show. So we gave you a long Sunday show. Appreciate everyone out there who tuned in. Shout out to everyone I met yesterday at Jets training camp, all the great Asmaniacs who said hello. I'll be at camp Wednesday and Thursday this week in person. We got our big event in East Hanover Wednesday night. Charles Gorman will be there. What more do you need? Here's what I need from all of you. Join the Patreon so you can take advantage of the 15% discount in the merch store. JakeAsman.com to get yourself some merch. Let's go. Anyway, that does it for me. I want to thank everyone for their incredible support. It's been another wild show, folks. A show that they'll be discussing for years to come. Now, before I go, we mentioned a lot of Charles Gorman today. I want to take you back to a moment in time that many people will never forget. The time that Charles and the Lane Train went head-to-head. Enjoy your Sunday. We're back live tomorrow with 2 streams, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. Go Jets. Hit the like button. Subscribe to this channel. Help me get to 40,000 subscribers, people. It is free to subscribe, and it really helps. Love you all. Go Jets. Charles Gorman forever, baby.
I think in classic Charles Gorman fashion, I saw a comment from Charles that said, "Who is Knoble?" as we played a full video explaining exactly who Knoble is. So, Charles, I go to you next. Do you still not know who Knoble is?
I think Lane Train's an idiot. I don't think he knows what he's talking about.
What do you mean he's an idiot?
He's making stuff up. Who's Knoble? I looked him up on the internet, and he's not there.
He is. He went to college.
Guys, stop it. Seriously, I know the bullshit coming out of your mouth. It's bullshit.
Charles, I don't like your tone.
Here,
Charles.
how do you spell Knoble?
Charles, I don't need to dignify your nonsense. See you later. Get out of here. How do you spell Knoble? Doesn't matter how to spell Knoble. All that matters is he's one of the great prospects we've ever seen.
On the 2022 draft pick, the pick goes to Knoble out of college.
More of your calls right now. Let's go to Jake Klein. What's up, Jake?
Well, actually, first off, for 1 second, who's Knoble?
No, he's a phenomenal prospect for the New York Jets.
I tried Googling. It said like amusement park things. I was like, I don't know.
No, he played at college.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll Google it another time, but
see you later. Jake, thanks for the time. Charles writes in, enough with the chicken soup talk. I'm pissed because of the stupidity this show has succumbed to. Hello, Charles.
Enough with the stupidity. I understand this Lane Train guy may be a nice guy, but does he even know what he's talking about? I've been looking this Knoble guy nonstop. Here, I'll share my screen with you. I know you're laughing, Jake.
Yeah, I'm laughing.
Knoble.
Type in Knoble out of college. It comes right up. It's like the first search. Type it in.
I am out of college. There's no such thing as him.
You believe everything you see on the internet? You're telling me your Google is accurate right now?
Yes, it is accurate.
How is it possible, Charles, if Knoble's not real, that Gator was able to put together an entire draft profile?
Knoble, FP football player from college. He is 5'7", 109.8 LBS, prospect grade 0.0, production score 69, and an athletic score of 007. He's very good, gets flag penalties, but he's very, very good, and I'm very good at this, taking football players.
You're defending Lane Train. That's what you're doing.
He played for the Rhinos. You just saw it.
Jake, if you want to lose a subscriber, stop right now.
Charles, I will take Lane Train over anybody. So if you're going to unsubscribe to my channel over Lane Train, then you know what? You got to do what you got to do.
Stop defending Lane Train.
Charles.
This guy doesn't know what he's talking about, Jake. How about stop lying to yourself, stop lying to these people, and actually say the truth? I'm on your Discord, and one guy called Frankie Castle agrees with me.
Charles, I'll just keep playing Lane Train Sounders if you keep slandering the man.
I'm not slandering the man. I'm telling him. But you know what? I'm not in the mood right now. Goodbye.
Charles, thank you for the time. Well, people, are you Team Lane or Team Charles? I'm glad this guy called in because he was slandered earlier, and I will not stand for this.
Hi, how are you? Bruce Hall. That's good.
The Lane Train. What's up, Lane Kerner?
How are you? Great. The 2 for this draft coming up, who do you take going into the 10th round for the draft? Do you take Brian, or do you want to take there's a lot of different players. Who do you think?
Who's Brian?
Yeah, the guy that they he drafted. Brian, what's his last name? Brian, you know?
What's Brian's last name? Do you know?
I forgot. There's a lot of other ideas. So who do you see going to the Jets in the 10th round, in the first round?
I really want them to take Knoble, and you brought him up a couple times.
Yeah, I know. But what happens if they don't get him? Then what do? Do you maybe go after somebody else? I don't think we need anybody else. I mean, I think that, you're going to work around the whole team going into next year.
Great point. Lane, thank you for the call. I hope you had a good Sunday.
You too. Hi. Sorry, everybody. See you next call when we talk about sports again.
Charles's head is spinning after that call. Chugga, 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 choo, choo.